Hey, my girl, yo, make sure you press the like button. Umbre, you me talk. Yeah, you, press this like. You're a bad man, you're wicked. Make sure you subscribe to Fiwi Dancehall, you know. That one are authentic. Watch it play, watch it pray now.
All right, so people, good night again, fans. This is late night talk with another episode. As you already know, this is Hot Ras, and I'll let everybody else introduce themselves, and then we kick it off.
Andre Powers, you don't know, Through the Eyes of the Eagle, whichever one, cool.
Shayon, aka Martica. Nobody else not.
And if not in the video here, it's K, Fancy by K, financial advisor, Fancy by K, business owner.
Hi, I'm Sassy Rochelle, the little cute natty with the fat body. You can find me on YouTube. Sassy Rochelle, the Jamaican goddess. Find me on Instagram, Sassy Rochelle. So anywhere you go, I'm Sassy Rochelle, the one and only.
Alright. Yeah. This is Mr. Mac. You already know people, Mr. Mac Loans, representing Reggae Dancehall TV, all the way. So big up everybody in the group, big up everybody on the line.
Hey y'all, it's Divine Chick Collective, aka Trish. You can follow me on my Instagram or my Facebook page at Divine Chick Collective, or follow my business page at AMB Smart Shop.
Boom. I like the team here. I must say, I like the team here. The heat was on in the last episode, and we did really great. So tonight we're coming with another interesting one. What we're going to be looking at, paternity and parenting. So, women, do you think DNA tests should be mandatory? Or men, is it yours or a fee? In other words, a female pick or a fear one? Make we have a discussion.
So, ladies, who wants to lead off with an answer?
Give Martisha the first.
Yeah, leader.
That's the wrong answers.
Even though this is our team and we selected the topic, I'm going to just be devil's advocate for a bit. The part where I say, is it female or femme as it relates to the men? We don't want some of the women we know say them now up, skip and jump on where things says that disrespect. But we know we have girl around we have money. Just like how the man them a girl is, some girl go like them have money. So at them girl, them woman they that part of the first. And yes, it should be mandatory. It costs so much.
You gotta go. What mommy can't talk to you. Mommy gotta work.
That's it. That's the where she's sure about. In my opinion, yes.
I take your brother's tablet.
You just listen to Sassy there.
Yeah, hear you.
Mute your mic, mute your mic.
So we heard Martisha. We heard Martisha with the thing saying that it causes too much problems, so she thinks it should be mandatory. And put it this way, you see, in a day and age right now where promiscuity is so glorified, and everybody and then granny have somebody else right now, I think desperate times calls for desperate action. Desperate time call for desperate action, and really and truly, if it really causes a problem, as Martisha said right now, from the woman side of things, really, yeah, man, I think it should be mandatory. Mind you, if you know, really and truly, say, boy, you and your woman mix up in an entanglement. Oh my, that word again.
We can't talk over each other because we have to come with fucking now. We have to go start.
Oh my. You know what? Go Sassy.
Well, Andy, Alright, me, see a woman who have 4 picnics with the same man, me I go tell her say no, it should not be mandatory.
Shut up.
Why? Because me know who me I lay down with. You see, if you have any doubt, say I fear, brother. Me tell my husband this when we did have a first man, and if family them walk and talk, say I no feel. Me say, brother, me not have a problem. Me go on the DNA. But you see, when the result come, you not see me pick him, I go disappear. Cause you know did have a little something, you say I no fool, I no feel like I no fool, I no fool.
So
look,
you were being ridiculous.
You say, no, it's not.
So you were
No,
being
it's-
ridiculous. If you're
listen
sure
to me.
for the man, you should
Let
not
me ask
know.
you something. No, me positive, but guess what? Just like I'm sure saying I carry my STD when me trust you if you come in a mirror. You can't trust me if you carry one pick me for you. It's all about commitment and trust, right, man?
Such is right.
That's all you say, right, man?
Everybody are
Such
coming
is right.
everybody wrong. That's why the man in a problem. Everybody
say?
are everybody wrong now. No,
No, everybody I go with everybody right now, mama. I was
you
know,
you sure putting them to the man, and you hear the people them are so you know
like
what?
me say, me not have no issue with giving on the DNA, but as my husband and as my man, want to say trust is the key. Guess what, brother? I did show me much faith you have in me, right? Now me I got how much faith you have in me.
Trust is not just a word in my mind. Trust is not
Exactly. Me lay down with your raw. And I trusted you with my health and my body. One dose of AIDS and I eat that.
Turn around like 2 days later.
And you want to tell me say you can't trust me if you can't want pick me for you?
All
You
right.
can't trust me to keep
Carry the
one
right
boom boom.
pitney. Not just any pitney.
Hear me now, because I don't want to talk over anybody.
What?
That's it. So me I rate because me have to take, and I'm not trying to be no fucking shit. Me not trying to show no shade. You say me not like I want to see the people them face when me I talk to. I like to see people's facial expression. So let's go to the four opinion for the man.
Hey.
That is, we not say you're not trustworthy. That have nothing to do with your trustworthy.
Yeah.
Four people for one man. Remember, everybody have their reason behind anything at all. I know you alone are gonna be you're not gonna be the first woman with then take off the whole of Jesus clothes, then take off the shroud of touring, the crown of turn off and dig out the nail.
Me never swear, mama. Me never swear to them. Me just tell them say, as me tell you.
You say you can't say on that basis because him coming at you. Your reason them where you give what?
Say, if me can trust you, say relationship is based on trust.
All right.
The key
All right,
words
so-
in those is relationship and trust.
All right. So hold on, Martisha and Sassy. So we have two contrasting views so far from the female side, right? Atras, we see like you that try say something.
Yeah.
Try.
We can't put up the timeout, nothing. Anyone who know the timeout, I know where you live.
Yeah. All right. So what I would say based on what Sophie was saying, I think that is a bit in a way me understand where you're from if you're with somebody that you said you were married, but
right
might be, but look at it this way. If you know how some families are like that.
But you're not married to your family, you're married to me.
Yeah, well I know, but I don't think a family should instigate it. But I'm saying I think it should be mandatory because especially in our culture and where we all come from, the country Jamaica, it's something that has been wreaking havoc in families for quite some time.
I understand
right?
that. Can I say something towards that when you finish?
Yeah, hold on. And it's because like say, look at it this way. Even coming to the US, there are a lot of kids who would have been living here but can't live here because when them father go file for them, they realize say the man where them grew up with, I think of them father, I know them father. And most of these females actually knew that
you know where you lay down with that.
Yeah, they know.
There's only one extra where I beat the camel, you know.
You know where you lay down with this.
Yeah.
There's only one extra where I beat the camel.
And
yeah, one thing before me make you talk, Sassy. You see, even the same thing. You see, if it was mandatory, the family wouldn't need to ask for it, and you and your husband wouldn't have a problem because it's mandatory. So from the baby born, just like for them would run random tests to make sure the baby all right. then would I run?
Me understand, but right
Yes, so
there,
then it wouldn't cause any problem.
yes,
Only
but right
people are not
there,
the only, well, I know the
again,
only, the
it's just
Okay,
a
hold on,
superiority for
Sassy.
men.
That's the whole I know. The only
Oh,
problem
sorry,
it would,
sorry.
the only problem it would cause is if the female not sure say are the man or the baby father.
That's why me say me never have no. Me not go swear to them and say, oh, you
Yeah,
can't do it.
then
No,
that's why I say
me quick to tell them so no run go do it.
that's why,
Sassy, may I just turn bridging what the air? Come in my bridging clip. I will go find one Avengers eventually, you know. Due to all you know, sure pick me a female. Sure, I'm tell me a girl what we do. You see when you see told me know me circumspect and how me deal with my thing. All when time me whole if I church I come, the community, in whatever, whoever
Girl,
remember you're short to your forfeit.
look
They,
here. Uno overstep when me a try to say to you
no,
know.
they said it have nothing to do with the man trust and coming. Me hear all
Yes,
the way.
it does. Yes,
It
it does. Let me tell you something.
was
Let me
not.
tell you something. Remember, you know, uno me no look at it. It's a form of disrespect for you and a man there and live in a house
No,
and a man come to your
All
house
right,
if you're
all
DNA.
right,
It is a form of
Sassy.
disrespect.
All right,
Why
Sassy.
it's not.
That means you don't trust me. You tell me something I fuck on you. That Jesus Christ.
No, make sure. No, God am go do DNA test. God am go do it.
Look here, brother, you can take your DNA test. Do your DNA test, but just make sure say you know, say yes, when you do it, you're going to lose. Because guess what? Sassy 100% sure say them a feel. But you see, if you have little shaky belief in a Sassy, you're going to lose.
We can lose situation. I don't know why we're there.
Because every time Sassy lay down with you, that Sassy trust in you. Every time you come home to Sassy and go back out the road, that Sassy,
him not living a you. Him not living a you. Him living a
me not live by him neither, so me don't know where I go in penis. Me
All
don't
right.
know. Hey, this is
Hold
a
on.
woman we get STD from her
Sassy.
husband when me 7 months pregnant. So me attack for the two scope where you
Sa-
trust a person and lose the trust, and you trust a person will ask you to give up
All
your
right,
trust.
but
So
Sassy,
me attack for the two angles.
Sassy, hold on. All right, we're going to get opportunities to reinforce the point or the position that we take, but we want to hear from because I think in expressing what your viewpoint is, I think you're losing something else again because the key term here is mandatory. Now, what makes that term something that everybody should understand? So
But
this is
it
a
can't be
collective.
mandatory.
Hold on. So I'm going to get back to the mandatory term.
Me not see how
but
you not
I
see it as
want hear.
disrespect.
I want to hear what Kay have to say.
All right, let me ask. Oh,
Let me give me input. Okay. You know I don't talk much, but hey. So I understand what Sassy is saying. Like if I'm with my husband and he wants a DNA test, I am going to feel offended. But then I have to go back to the point where it says it's mandatory. It's not an optional it's not an optional request, it's mandatory. So you have to do it. And you know why I say that too? I've seen it
Don't pull them.
a few of my family and friends where they raise kids for 7 years, 18 years, whatever age. And when them ready to travel, they find out say putting them on a field for them. While the woman know, a lot of time the woman them know say they put them on for the man. A lot of time they know, but they still go ahead and tell the man say yes, I for them pit me, and even ask the man for child support. You know, ask the man for child support, kill the man down for child support, bring the man to court for child support, and at the end of the day, fitting them and for them. So where example where them say one man ask the DNA test to pay child support, nothing is wrong with that.
Yes, that's okay. I agree with that, Fancy.
Yes.
I
So
agree
if
with that.
you ask the child support, then let me prove that this kid is mine.
Right.
Yeah.
There's cases where I believe it can be mandatory. But it's not supposed to be something where off the wrap. Mandatory. No.
May I interject?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yes, and then after you, I'm going to allow Mac if he
Where's
can
Trish? Where's Trish?
to go
Yeah,
ahead.
man, I wait for you, man.
Where's Trish?
Yeah.
you notice that most of the time when people talk about paternity testing and whether or not pick me up a man or whatever, them always gravitate to the filing. I just that me hear some most people, not just we right now on the live.
That and the child support.
Let us talk about the emotional attachment what the man have to the pitney them. Let us talk about how him pour out his soul in a them pitney them. Let us talk about especially the man them when mind the pitney them. Good man me I talk about you know, me not talk about the flux them where I want to the little money and whatever. Remember, even if it's not mandatory, if it's mandatory, you can't say nothing. It have to do. Just like how you want a man to do an AIDS test before him do whatever, or before you do whatever with him, it should have been no problem at all. And even if you're there with a man for 40 years and one day the man say, look, me feel like I'm going to do a DNA test. Suppose him and himself, we respect the man them we there with. Me not see where, me not take no offense. I believe the only way you take offense to a man asking you for a paternity test for his child or for establishing paternity, because you in a year friggin' self I wonder if. From now wonder me not take no offense. Me no offense, me say come, I feel money enough.
That's your views, mama. That's your views.
It's not.
Do the paternity test because I'm sure see a feel pick me.
That's your views. You know there with a man yet. Your man not ask you, man, where you praise yet? You know breed you yet and turn around and look for your act. But maybe again, full of lifestyle, it's expected. That's the thing.
No, hold on.
Have to do one. If embassy can ask you to do one, why the fucking man can't ask?
That's why we said there's cases where I respect it.
The man can ask.
There's cases where I respect it. But if me and you live in a house and so we farm foundation, no. It's a part of disrespect.
A scenario. Do you think it is any different if a man feel like say he's not the father of a child a woman was married than if a female got if him have a woman was married? You feel like there's any difference?
Right, no, because guess what? You're making man worse if he's a good man feel away. You're right. If a man will work blood sweat and tears and you come to me there someday, you're making man feel away, you know. And appreciation is a hell of a thing, you know. I wonder if you know say an appreciation is a hell of a thing.
So play it, Makawasha.
Yeah, and one man, me personally can tell you this from experience. My husband, me know say and me push my husband through the door sometime, you know. Him wasn't the perfect man, but some, you know, when you weigh out the something on the scale before you move on, because marriage and marriage, though. Me can tell you say personally sometimes I pushed him through the door. Why? Because if you get up every day, I gotta work. You work at 9 to 5, sometimes even at 12 hour work. Every friggin' day you come to do now, this woman I go tell you say, a woman you did the fee extra 6 hours or you want a little something and she go push you off or you know a little something. Those little insecurities lead to unappreciation. The man I go start feel like me I do I work and take care of you. Every day you come. Me want happy to when me I work for. Nobody wants to feel disrespected or unappreciated. So yes, I agree with you. If it shows up on the man foot, me feel the same way just as I me feel about the child's paternity.
All right.
That's why I said there are cases.
All right. So Trish, you're well relaxed there and go on and what have you. Let me hear what you have to say. You understand? So chime in. And then I'm gonna hear what Maka say, because you see Martisha and Sassy have two valid points, but there might be weaknesses from different standpoint, and I want to chime in at a point to talk about the standpoint of the whole, as I said, the mandatory part of it. But go ahead, Trish.
Are you hearing me?
Yes.
No,
Mark, you need to mute your mic. I only for rambling and go on.
Just pretty low, mama.
No, man, my mic mute, man. My mic been mute for the longest while.
somebody I want to play it.
All right, go ahead, Trish.
Fancy, check your mic. Mute the mic, Fancy.
Mine was muted. Mine is muted.
Okay. We'll figure it out. Should a paternity test be mandatory? Sure. Sure, a paternity test. Listen, I am with both sides. I'm actually caught
But
in the
not
middle.
ear fancy. Me not hear her.
You not hear me?
I'm hearing.
We can hear you just fine.
Me can't hear you too.
No, I'm talking about Trish. I'm not hearing Trish.
I'm hearing her.
Everybody can hear. Just your phone.
Yeah, I'm here. Come out and come back in, Sassy.
All right.
All right. So I'm smack dab in the middle with both of these passionate ladies as it pertains to this particular topic, because I can really see on both sides. The reason why I do like the mandatory in the testing is because it takes out the emotional part of it as it pertains to being in a relationship and then your partner asking you to have a paternity test. So if we knew for a fact that every child born will be tested and that's just the rule of law, then it takes the emotional piece out of it. Because to be honest, if my good man come to me when me just push out that 8 pound 2 ounce spit and come tell me about paternity test, me not give him the paternity test now. But me tell him say that is the end of film education because we done. Because me not come from, if we ourselves for a relationship based on trust, and me know, say me not even wear jacket nor blazer, and you are going to come to me and tell me about paternity test? No, me I give that paternity test. But me have to find him my next daddy.
You see mentality, so you prefer, you say the man a good man, you say the man a good man. So why?
I agree, Trish.
What kind of
Trish,
nonsense?
I agree. It's nonsense.
You agree, but yeah, and I will strongly disagree and say fuckery, nonsense. So because if everybody else can ask on paternity test, you don't feel no way. But the good man, she said the man a good man, and him a come strong. And if him decide a man him name, remember, we are with somebody in a relationship. I know govern the man their mentality. Uno govern everything we are going in their mind. As me say, everybody have them jewelry window. There are things about people where even though I'm a man, even though a man, him not obligated to pay a certain way for you in some aspects. So there will be things about him where if you make
That's where we differ.
Process,
That's where we differ.
Respect the man's start process. No matter whether or not you want to feel like
respect him.
All right.
The next man for stepfather and child.
So you have kids?
Hold on. Hold on. Give me a second. All right. So this is may I address Sassy and Trish with it. So ladies, you're telling me just because you got your feelings hurt from your man asking for a paternity test, you would rather raise your child without a father because the father will want to be in a mute life and just want to be reinsured say you are my one. You would rather go raise the youth there with somebody else or by yourself just because your feelings were hurt?
All right. To be honest with you, address.
I want to answer the fucker here.
Question.
It's a matter of ignorance when we say that. I say, yes.
So why the fuck
the household would no longer be? Why? Because me not gonna ever feel the same round you.
All right, let's see where if it starts. Avengers, men, please listen to these women.
Listen. It's just the same. This trust is alright. If me mess up your trust, right?
Hold on, Martisha.
If me the something to affect your trust, right? Would you trust me the same way ever again?
What do you mean affect your trust? How the man affect you?
Yeah, but why is it a trust issue?
You don't trust me, you show me saying
clearly.
Clearly.
You don't mind too fucking shallow if I that you not
my teacher talk foolishness. If somebody feel, if me 100% sure say pick me a film, I don't ever ask for DNA. No,
I'm
sure ask for DNA. I'm sure. My tingle in my mind.
Man, we offended because you know 100% sure. You bet.
Me 100% sure.
$1,000,000% sure.
Never in my life.
Hold on.
Hold on. Can't swear by the four of them to Junior. But me know say. Yeah.
I want to talk.
Yeah, man. Yeah, hold on. Fancy, me still a hear when Mark have to say it, you know. But go ahead, Fancy.
So,
Before them in there, I line them up, make you see them.
so listen. Me understand where.
Me
When
not refer you.
Listen, let me talk. Yes, I'm understanding what Tassie and Chrissy saying. If the man, if me there with a man, like my baby father, no, and he come to before when he was my husband, and he come to me and ask me for a paternity test, I will be offended if it's not a mandatory thing. That's what we'll go back to
Alright. Why?
power
And
and
why? Why would you take offense?
because why would you come to me? I'm your husband. I'm
My
your
teacher, come on.
What is it about the question we ask you? And you answer why you
That means you don't have trust for me. You don't trust me.
This my teacher, yeah, first man
Look,
bang that
ladies,
lad.
ladies.
First of all, why you think man use it as a disrespect?
Hold on.
Me just before you talk, Atras, let me ask Martisha. So, Martisha, if it wasn't something so offensive, why do you think all these celebrity men, all of them money with them dirty money, why you think they use it as a defense to train out man face? Say, girl, more your part. Why you think they do that? Right now, Asafa, let's use the man we are using as example. Asafa been taking care of the little girl or whatever, right? Why now, nigga? Why now? Because you just want to smash shit in the girl face.
We all know why these celebrity men after because there's some butter foot and butter ears not for the woman.
You ever see a man who love a woman ask her for paternity yet? A man will seriously love a woman. Me not talk about no man will grind a woman and make a pit. You ever see a man will love a woman ask her for paternity? All the jacket in take 10 times over.
Of course.
All right.
Wait. Listen to me when me I say. Listen to what me I say. Can you ask if me have kids? Me have one where 18, one where 11.
That's good.
But
were those kids made in a relationship or just you and a man do nothing and they make? We and the man there and build a foundation and so on, we go make a pitney and something man and the pitney them come or just Jamaica style. We are grind and we say with it. But me have me yard, you have your yard and the pitney them make.
On public Fiwi Dancehall TV, yes, I have never had a fling with Ashmi.
No, me not say fling me dash me. Listen carefully to what me just said to you. No, but the two of them live in a one yard when the pitney make and decide to not have a pitney. When the pitney they make, gonna live in a one house and decide to listen to me with them, yeah, my man, yeah, your woman, and we're gonna have a baby. Is that the case?
Holidays to the end of the period cycle.
I never ask you that. Answer the question I me ask. It's a simple question me ask.
You hear what I said? I have never had a fling me dash me. All of them. All of them.
They live in a and I still not answer that question I me ask them, Martisha.
Yes, we live in a house. Live in a house.
And so now I go have a picnic and make it picnic.
No. Not all of them. Not all of them. Not all of them. Not all of them. But what I'm saying is that is baseless. It don't matter. It don't.
No, it is. But that's what we're talking about. Listen. All right. Let me say something. Can I get the floor to say something, please? All right. You guys, the topic is DNA mandatory, right? In order for something to be mandatory, it has to be accepted. Just like just like everything, it has to. There's no law that can be passed to make it mandatory unless it's something that a group of people come together, agree on it, vote on it, and then it goes into position. Right?
Yeah, but it's not usually by the entire public.
No, I didn't say the public. You notice I said a group of people. So in order for those group of people, we are gonna be that group of people right now. You see? Me personally, I share my opinion. I would never vote for it to be mandatory. Why? Because it's a form of disrespect to a woman on a whole.
But that is your opinion, just like everybody else's.
That's my opinion. Somebody else take it floor and talk.
Hold on there, Mark.
Yes, Tobias.
All right, Mark. Hold on. Let me hear what Mark say. Let me hear what Mark say, and then we think there.
Right. Marie, you are not Mr. Mark, you are not the daddy. All right, two things now. We can agree. We can agree. We can take a little bit from here, we can take a little bit from there, right? This is the issue what may I have. So now, we can't. Uno gen come on the panel. If uno no see what Sashi has said, as far as disrespect. That could be a big disrespect in the car. You're there with your woman for years, long time. The woman where you're supposed to trust and she do everything for you. She wash your clothes and cook your food. And next thing she come and say, yo, say, baby, say me pregnant. Oh God, Mr. Happy say me pregnant. And Ray. I say, yo, you know what? DNA test. No, that can't go work. You're gonna make you feel like your woman, you're gonna disrespect your woman them with it. Because you're gonna make you feel like your woman they run up and down the road that cheat.
Right.
You understand where I come from? That and somebody phone make one whole heap of noise, by the way.
We didn't think I know.
No man. Everybody mute up on the mic real quick, man. I mean, I want you in the noise now make them big pint here. Right? See they gone now. So now, once you disrespect your woman like that, of course you're gonna feel away. You're not supposed to make your woman feel no type of way. That is not good. So me not think say it's supposed to be mandatory. Right? But then again too, the next point now, sometimes, if the woman questionable, then she must go get it. Me get that where you can ask. But if you're a good woman where you're there home with that nah go work, you're going to disrespect your woman and them way there. Cause if a woman remember now, she cook your food, she do everything for you, she can poison your ass.
Listen,
You understand what I'm saying? You couldn't get poison. She can't go road and go, so be careful since you ain't trust her, right? Why you go wait till now until baby I come for saying you trust? So you ain't trust her all along then. Don't make her cook no food for you, cause me as a man, if me not trust a woman enough, me not name no food for her, Me go over there and jump in her hole, but me not name no food for that. You understand where I come from? To me, I just feel like say that wrong. So I don't agree with the mandatory. I don't agree with the mandatory test, DNA thing. But I do have to put this out there. Some woman is questionable, so you have to go ask. You have to ask. You might want to need that.
Agree.
You understand? Because the man live their life a certain type of way, certain type of lifestyle. They out late at night. You understand? And they might do certain things. You might have to go ask because but the thing is, you didn't get yourself into that first place. Because if you go deal with girl where you meet a road, what kind of loose-ish or however I make her, if she get pregnant, you have to go ask the question.
But Mark, you have deception, bro. You have deception. What are you talking about? Hold on.
Make it simple,
Hold on.
please.
Hold on.
Whatever.
So let me ask, because the same people them will say them not believe in it being mandatory, are the same people them say them can understand when you have some women that are being promiscuous. So let me ask you a question now. What qualifies a man asking a woman for a paternity test? Because we're going to get to the other part now, but what qualifies a man reasonably asking a woman now? Because no matter what I tell me, say, if a man even goes a boom, right, and be with somebody that in figure say, boy, she promiscuous or she might swing a certain way. Any point you ask that thing that is going to be seen as a disrespect. So what qualifies a man? At what point is it okay for a man to ask that?
Well, I want to say something.
Feel disrespected, but them feel disrespected when they
want to say something now. Can I say something?
No, hold on, Sassy. Answer my question because hold on, because you and Mac and maybe and Trish was saying that only not think it will be mandatory because hold on, because of the emotional side of things. Because of that, you want to protect on the feelings. Hold on, but at the same time, you acknowledge say, boy, you have women that are deceitful. So, at what point is it okay for a man to ask?
Can I say something?
Yes, go ahead.
The main problem we have in parenting right now is what? Men disappearing, right? So just like how women could trust you putting a seed in her, not knowing if you're going to be there when the baby's born. I'm speaking from experience. For the same man who turn around married, you take a gamble, and that's a lifetime gamble. So if we can trust you with that, not knowing what the outcome is going to be, because enough man didn't have baby shower, everything I didn't know the birth. And then the birth, I know the for 1 year old straight up to the 18 to 21. So the two main factors is which I pointed out in the beginning, which is trust and relationship. Once we say a relationship and trust is the main factor, I thought we are gamble. The woman is gambling with the man for carry a pick the theme because she not sure him a come. Him a did it. For the minute she tell him that she's pregnant, the man can disappear. So it's a gamble. And the man, him have to trust the woman and base it on the fact that they have a relationship because likewise she could be promiscuous and give him a jacket. So two people are gamble with a life position.
Wish the man would have some fucking fool. You just wish the man would have some blood clot fool.
Martisha, hold on.
Fool with what?
Martisha, hold on. Me want to interject on something Sassy said. Me tell her why I feel like it would be good for it to be mandatory. I'm want to listen to him and if it makes sense, it makes sense. You see, if it's going to be mandatory, there's also going to be something that's going to tie in the father now. So you see, if it's mandatory and it just come back to yes, I'm me or the father, you know what? Automatically it is mandatory for me now. If me and my woman left, me support pay child support.
Jay.
That is well not see that even the support system outside. So you see, once me and that woman they left now, and me automatically supposed to start take care of the youth. If say me and I if me because alright, I would automatically mean if it can be proven that I am not taking care of the child. If the mother can prove it, say yo, him not giving the money from when me and him left. Me know it's gonna be mandatory now for me pay child support because I'm my youth.
Right.
We see with all the system set now, where once you sign the birth certificate, say now you're the father. If you need DNA forward and say you are a father, when child support come, you still have to pay that.
Actually, there's two forms. I learned this in Florida. There's two forms. There's one you sign for the birth certificate, but if the woman tends to bring you on child support, you can contest. I mean, speak for experience. Because one girl I know, she give the man the pitney, make the man sign the birth certificate and everything, but the man smarter than she. You see, when the child support come in, the man got court go send it under the influence, and guess what? He don't have no knowledge of signing it. The judge, however, I don't know if New York is the same way, but in Florida, because you didn't sign that second form, you know really stand firm because it shows that you only mark you at the point when you pick the bank, but you know sign and confirm, say my feel. Every state is different, so I don't know. So I'm gonna put that out there. But also, Dre, me not finish. In regards to what Dre say, Dre, you see, if I and a woman again, it's all about the trust and the relationship. You see, if we don't break apart like me and my man know where we left, and you feel like say, yo, me no want to take care of them unless me sure say I feel me. Go ahead, do your DNA, because you're not in a relationship to lose. Nothing of this
no, but that's what I'm saying. That's
according to you, sure say I feel me.
No, I think you guys are missing the point. If it is mandatory, it takes all of that trust issue out
but
of
that's what I'm saying, Jay. For it to be mandatory, it has to be something that's approved.
Sassy, hold on. Go ahead, Martisha.
Mandatory. Mandatory means that it compulsory, it required, it
by law.
Yes, I understand that, sweetheart.
You know, required to give up.
But this is what I'm saying to you. In order for it to be required by law, it has to be approved. You can't just jump and become mandatory stuff.
Can I finish? We no business whether or not we not kind of body now.
Well, if it have a mandatory by law and we not have nothing to say, then we not make talk about it.
Sassy, allow her to make the point. Allow her to make the point.
Earlier you said you do not agree for it to be mandatory. Nobody can fight you upon that. But you still go back, but say you still have to take fucking offense when the man, if you did there with him for whatever the man ask you, whatever. Somehow now mash up all in a relationship because the man come ask you. So nobody no rascal want the DNA test to do it look like. Nobody no want to do.
You're missing the point, Martisha. Nobody says they don't want the DNA to be done.
If it was mandatory, we wouldn't.
Hold on, Sassy.
If it was mandatory, we wouldn't even have to talk about it. So you wouldn't have to go left your man. You wouldn't have to feel offended. You wouldn't have to feel nothing at all about it because it's already done. Then don't dry up in the blood, do whatever you say. And the man want to move along. Which part of that you know I like? Why
so
you
again,
not?
Martisha, as a woman now, let me ask you something. You take a little trust where woman for having a relationship. Where you left woman with? You as a woman, see on this what I say that. Where you are left woman with? If man can always have them way, what are you leaving women with?
Fucking pitney them a fame. Or when embassy asks you if you gotta do DNA test, it's glad for God blood clot
That's why again, Mister, in cases I am
All right.
But if the man where him for mind the pitney them ask you no feel offended and lose the trust and yes, fucking well. But I'm saying me I raise my son, I'm gonna raise my son for being a fucking go. Right? And me I'm a woman raised in a boy child.
Me I raise 3 sons.
Idiot out there and going like, if the man asks me, I'm gonna feel offended, I'm gonna this. That's not even the reason why the fucking man. The man asks you because I want to know if the picnic, them a feel.
Because him have a doubt. That's my point.
All right, hold on.
There's no way. All right. Andre, you have kids? Before we take it floor, I want to ask one more question to the man them.
Hold on. Sassy. And I'm going to answer your question. I'm going to give you a scenario that I personally experience. And Dre don't put me up in focus because I want them to hear me talk about.
Yes, stop with that. I want everybody face.
Hold on. First things first. Understand what we're talking about. And by the way, there are 7 of us on this panel, and by no means all of us cannot be on the same page. So you have your viewpoint, and we have to respect that. You can only justify your viewpoint. The next thing, when we talk about mandatory, it takes out, as Dre said, the emotional side of things, right? Because right now, even this, do you know that Jamaica in recent time instituted a law or some sort of thing there that says if a woman goes to the hospital to have her baby and the father is not there present to register the baby, they are not registering the baby. Hold on. Because of the same issue where...
Me agree with that, laddie.
No, man, hold on. If you agree with that, you shouldn't have any problem with things about
because when a man did it on his spot, it's again, I miss a point. Relationship and trust. First of all, if me and a man have a relationship and me have a picnic, it's supposed to do that. We bond. It's a part of the relationship. If you not did it, you left me no one of my weakest time by myself. Seriously?
Hold on.
Maybe again, through my one was a commitment issue and it was a marriage.
Can I finish?
For me.
Because
if me did have one of my picnic and my husband every day, you're mad. You left me a woman's birth process on the weakest point.
Some man them can't do it. Man have obligations where them can't do it.
No. Me can't miss childbirth, neither can you. Unless you're that foreign.
Stop. Listen.
Whoever got signed, them no want that.
I didn't say that the father has to be present at child's birth. When the registration process is taking place, the father has to be there. If not, they're not going to register the child.
Right.
And me understand it.
Hold on. And this is all because of women not knowing who the father of them picnic be. Hold on. That is one thing.
Right.
That is one thing. Sassy, so when we talk about mandatory, you could have opened your feelings a little more. This is stated by law because guess what happened? The government can one day get up and decide, say, boy, too much domestic violence is taking place because me don't know what going on in Florida, me don't know what going on in New York. I talk about Jamaica. And we don't see the news every day about what going on in Jamaica where women are dead left, right, and center because of infidelity and pretty much women are do man wrong. If the government get up one day and say, listen, ladies, when you're going to give birth, in addition to the father being there at registration, we need a paternity test to be done because guess what? The family court is jammed with all of these cases. Can't prove nothing or whatever it is, and we want to make decisive action. We want to make DNA tests based on the rate of infidelity and all of these unplanned pregnancy and whatever it is. We want to make it mandatory. If they get up and pass that law, you could have opened your feelings a little more. There's nothing you can do about it more than to give that. Hold on. Listen. And this is what we're not talking about the man coming to ask or whatever it is. That is where you get the emotional side of it because you feel disrespected, right? Because you feel disrespected. We're talking about mandatory. mandatory to fix maybe like an issue. Wait. I have a daughter. She's 8 years old. To your question, I remember when her mother was pregnant, right? I don't even tell a lot of people this story because I always say I leave this situation to God and hope that she has a reason to be reminded of the statement that she made. Because of the work I was doing at the time, I used to trust her with my email address and whatever it is to send email on my behalf because I was on the road and so on. And she violated that trust by going onto my Facebook account, saw a conversation between me and a female. It was nothing that you can really look into to say, boy, all right, then fine. Innocent flirting and foolishness or what have you. And she was upset by it, came to my workplace, one heap of excitement. So I said, all right, then fine. Listen, let us go home and have a chat about this and what have you. Go home and we talk. And I explain myself and I talk about things and what have you. And the woman, I guess based on how I reacted calmly and dealt with whatever it is, she wasn't satisfied with that. The woman turned to me and said to me, you know what the next thing? This child that I'm carrying is not yours. So I said, really? So I said, yeah. So she said, yes, it's not yours. And you know what next thing? I writing us up on your bed, me carry the man come fuck. Listen. This is a woman. Just imagine this now, you know. This is a woman that was on birth control for a long time. And just because I know the effects of these infused hormones and whatever it is, we made the decision, say, all right, then fine, we're going to have a child. So what we did, we planned it out. And we said, all right, then guess what happened? Get off these hormonal stuff, the birth control and what have you, for 3 months. Purge yourself, whatever it is. And we're going to go ahead and try. And we went ahead and we tried, got pregnant, everything. We planned it down to a science, down to a T, to the point where even within the first 1 to 2 years of my daughter's life, I never had to spend $1 out of my pocket for anything for her. Listen to what I'm saying. So imagine this now. It reached a point now where we started to get things start get on the rocks now because we're no longer together. And I said to her, you know what? You know, I need a paternity test done though. I need a DNA test done. She asked me why. So I said, what you mean why? She said, yeah, why? I said to her, you forget that you told me what transpired? She said, yes, but you and I know says you're a child. I said, no, I don't know that. Someone never tell me say, yeah, breed for somebody else, and out the road me hear it, out a fear amount. Now, whether it is that you are upset about the situation and you wanted to inflict hurt on me, that is none of my business. You understand? You know, the woman look at me and tell me she's not giving me none, and if I want it, I need to go and pay for it.
Go pay for.
Well, no, man. Put it this way. I left it to prayers and God because I look at me say, boy, she gonna live for regret that down to when time she dead. I not cast dead for nobody, but everybody have to dead at some point in time. So everywhere she go with the child now, everybody has said, boy, John, the pitney have nothing for you. What make it worse? The child have my whole persona and everything. The point that I'm trying to make is that when we put ourselves in situation and the emotional side of things take over whatever it is, that is when we cannot be objective about anything, right? So hence when we talk about the whole argument of making it mandatory, we want to take the emotional part of it out. And the emotional part is where somehow we talk about our feelings are going to hurt. You understand? Which may understand, yes, if you're in a good relationship and you don't have the system that provides that mandatory DNA test. You don't have the system, you don't have none of that. Of course, you're going to feel hurt when the man asks you. But if it is there by law to be done, you don't have no other choice but to do it. Go ahead.
Let me say something. And the owner have to go drag me to hell for that one, yeah.
When me I ask then, so if
I
it's
mean,
mandatory by law, what are we talking about?
no.
So much.
Wait, let me say something first, because I don't establish where mandatory mean already. We establish where mandatory mean, right? You require the compulsory, it have to do. We no business with what you want think or feel, it have to do. Right? Some wanna say, una don't want that. What if a girl say them no want that? And nobody cannot just then can't give a reason why. Then can't cause any reason won't never come up with it have a sound for free. Come back now to the part where, okay, no mandatory, you know, have to do it. Your breeder have to do money and him live for 20 years. In the 15, 20 second year, Pitney must be about what? Maybe 5 or 6. And the man, me keep on a say this. I don't know why women, some of you, have the man them now, talk a big game, because talking the talk is so different from walking the walk. Talk how much rate on a man, respect on a man, this and that on a man, whatever. And as soon as the man I do something where he have nothing to do with fucking you, you know, he have nothing to do with you. This is the man start process where you need to respect that too. This is where I think about. If him now I explain it to you, oh well. But you reserve, me not say you don't reserve the right to feel offended. Why you feel offended, me not fucking know, you know. You reserve the right to feel offended. But the man can come and ask you, yes, him come ask you for your DNA test. If you not have even a tux, you not have a tux doubt, you not have no doubt at all whatsoever. Me not see why you should have a problem giving the man a DNA test. You should have crept him up in the pit a long time and run go and do it. Yes, all if you don't want pay feed, him pay feed fine. Did you know? You see all that girl wait. You're lucky, Andre. There should be a law to when them tell you the fuckery and then tell you say them now go the paternity. There should be a law.
Andre's situation is a whole different
right?
ballgame. Because she
You
have to
know
do that
that
the
there
DNA.
are women like all myself who carry twin genes, right? We likely to get pregnant with twins. Did you know that there are girls out there who are very mannish, who will breed for 2 man one time? Them a carry twin belly and see them here shove down you one man with the belly. Shove down you one man with the big belly. Man and mine belly go and come. Twin a fraternal twin them. When DNA test do one of the picnic them after the man because some
Me
girls
have that in my community.
at the time when them have been managed say that possible. Them never know that, you know. So
You
kill
take
them.
it 2 man too quick. 2 man all in a one night. 2 man all 2 days apart.
One of it one man, one of it Tom Strokes, and one of it Tom Jones.
Just like a dog.
And you
Just
see
like
that
a old dog have puppy.
that girl, you know the girl where they take the offense. Take the offense when Tom Strokes say want a DNA test. Because Tom Strokes too
For me one, I wish I could have changed the pupa for 4 of them. So he should have asked for DNA for the first one. Make me give him and left him and Jerry. Wouldn't bother give him 3 more. Right?
Strokes and Tom
Make me say something. Me
Strokes.
can't talk for girl let me give jacket.
The
Let me
two
check
people.
it out. I say, me wish me could have changed for me one day.
Yeah, man, talk for jacket them, man.
Yes,
Speak
so
up,
me
man.
wish me wish for me them was jacket for this
Let
man.
me
Yeah.
tell you,
So
Tom Strokes is
Martisha, give me floor and make a talk for jacket them.
and the two people them come out. One black and head favor black pepper, and the other one is a brown.
Martisha, give me a chance let me talk for girl where I give jacket them.
You never
You
want
see
Tom
girl where I give jacket them. 2 share girl are coming, you know. Cause some of the time, jacket pupa, give a better fathering than the actual pupa.
That's
Cause
how
for me 4 when me I tell them about
Okay.
that same pupa, and I wish I
That's
could
why I
have
don't want
changed
it
it right.
mandatory.
The
That's
views,
why I don't want
the
it
views,
mandatory.
the views expressed by Sassy is
We
not the
are
views.
now talking
Is
about.
not the views of Fiwi Reggae Dancehall.
We're
So,
talking about the
come
Tom
on, the girl them. The
Strokes.
comment the girl we look out for them, pick the and I say, you know what? The father is better than that one day, you know. You better make it a father than that one day, because the
Tom
father.
Strokes has been in a relationship for 20 years. Tom Strokes lie down on the settee one day and say, little Tom Strokes. And he no look like in outside and head, he must say, but I order sitting there upon his ears, round the stuff. And
But
he must say,
Martisha, that's what we say though. It starts with a doubt. It
maybe
don't just
that
nobody. Me
a
never
raggedy
ever. Alright, this is why I say more ask the man them. Me never get to talking to man
so
them. Remember, so me say more talk to you.
it is human, it's a human, you fucking get the child, it's not
Can
stone.
I speak to the men for a second, Martisha? See what
Want
over
him
this for one day.
right.
Let me ask the man them something.
Well, on the Martisha. Let me hear what she say.
Andre, me see up on your page with your son. When your girlfriend did tell us that she pregnant, was it a relationship?
That matter.
Oh, you
Just
talk
hold on, no girl.
to me,
What's
right?
the relationship?
You talk to me, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. When she tell us that she's pregnant, in any speck at the moment, did it ever cross your mind to say, boy, I want a DNA?
No.
All right. If along the way you didn't have any doubts, then you would have asked for a DNA, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. In regards to Una saying it's mandatory, I understand what mandatory
Yeah,
means.
but
So I know that means it's
in
it's
terms,
a must.
in terms of the dope we are talking about, might be you do something will give the man that dope the why he want ask
But
you.
that's what I'm saying to you.
And him have to tell you
Once,
now.
but,
So that
if him, but that's the thing. Once him
Why the
gets
man ready
into
to fit you?
something, this is the thing. You guys are missing it. And that's why I say to you,
And
once
we
him asks for the DNA, that tells me there's a problem.
But that
No,
yeah,
no
but-
healthy relationship.
no. All right,
Nobody's gonna.
look at
how is it a problem?
all right, Sassy, look at it this
You
way.
is a problem.
Look at it this way. See when well I know. Say for instance, you have the baby. The baby born, the baby have every strike in resemblance of you. Him not have nothing for the father. All him a grow the father no say nothing for him for the kid pitney. That is a farmer doubt. Him I don't like him a
I can't show you something now. I'm
Him just
telling you
want-
something.
Hold on,
Thank you. I'm glad you said that. Look, I'm glad you said that. Can't suffer me this band. Listen now.
Yeah, then hold on.
I'm glad you
Then
said that.
why would you feel
Listen
some
now. Guess
What?
what? No, that's why my daddy. You see, my roommate father.
It's
My
still
roommate
proof.
father used to always say this one favorite line when he joke. Longest liver shall see most. All you pray for a long life. Cause guess what? You see, whole family ready to talk, say, put in a jacket. You see, no, me give him 4 pitney. I guess you try and look like him the most. You see him one when born and never have not even an ice cement for him. Pitney not have to look like you know.
You
Pitney can look like your grandfather, your great grandfather, somebody will have look.
Hold on, man.
So say sweet me now.
That's
It's
the
sweet
one
me now. Then you just listen to me. The end
No,
of good at
that's
the good
the
girl.
one, man.
But no.
That's it. You cannot
Like,
blame
no,
them.
me put
You
me
cannot
poo-poo.
blame them. You cannot blame them because
Why?
that's what you just said. They never have
Look
nothing.
here.
They never
It
resemble
still
each other.
doesn't matter. As me
It
telling
still
you, if it's
does. It
mandatory, I understand it.
It
But
does.
if it's not mandatory, it's a form of disrespect.
What
That's just
about
my
the
views.
children? What about the children? Since
That's my point. Oh, you think he picked the feel when he grew up here saying daddy did think he man of feel. Say me
But
daddy
why-
say me and
why
no
you
feel
have to
and
tell
more
the child
DNA.
that?
Oh, you think he picked the have a feel?
Why
Me
you
have
have to
no
tell
feel
the
good
child that?
myself.
Why you have
listen,
to tell the child that?
not even have to know that, but because you know
Yeah,
your
yeah. Why?
yeah,
If it's
in that.
something the father is so proud of,
No,
why
I
the
would.
child nothing know?
No,
It was a
no,
proud
you're not
moment in
supposed
the
to do
father's
that.
life.
No, you know why?
It
You
was
know
a
why you
proud
do that?
moment.
No,
Let's share it with the
no.
children.
You know why you do that? You know why?
No, because Andre, you see I shake your head and say no, because deep down you know it's a form of disrespect and resentment.
Calm down.
It's a form of
No,
resentment.
calm down. It's not no resentment. Calm down.
What kind of nonsense? What
Calm
would them
down.
with somebody man them with DNA test you know?
Hold on. Calm down.
All right, hold on.
Sassy,
Yeah.
you are wrong for that. And me I go tell you that to your face. If you tell your child say you know your father never did want you, never think you did feel you're wrong for
No,
tell
I'm not gonna bring nothing to you, them, but I'm saying to Uno. No, don't bring nothing to
Yo,
children. Again,
that's some
Uno need to
bitter
listen,
business.
you know. Uno
Yeah.
need to
Alright.
listen. Me never say we are gonna tell you them that, but I'm saying to you, if you felt that it's something so proud and okay for you to do as a father, then it's supposed to be something proud and okay if you didn't know about.
No, Sassy. Hold on,
Why?
Martisha.
Why is it not?
Hold
Why
on,
is it so
Martisha.
offensive for
Hold
the
on.
child to know that?
Hold on.
That is something between you and the man, you know. That is not between you and
That's
the
why me I
child.
tell you say if it's something that is mandatory, it's okay. But if you know, I talk about it from a
No.
different angle.
That's it.
You
Listen
don't
to
have
me,
to think
Sassy.
about
Hold on.
everybody. Why is
Martisha
it
and
that
Sassy,
the
hold
woman,
on.
the man
Hold
must
on.
carry that hurt? Why is it that the woman must still be with you and carry that hurt? Why?
What
All right,
person talking?
guys, hold on.
What?
Hold on. Just like when Max said, first things first, if the man come and ask you, the mother of the child, for a DNA test, that is an issue between you and the thing there.
Right.
Hold on. Let the record show. You see, when I had asked my child's mother for a DNA test, right? I never meant anything by it. I wasn't joking. I was just playing devil's advocate.
How she do that?
Well, I just played devil's advocate just to show that you need to be careful with the things that you say, right? And even to this day, she gonna look at me and tell me, say, boy, she gonna tell my daughter whatever it is. So I say, listen, the day when you tell my daughter that I have no problem in explaining to my daughter why I would have thing there. I would
Exactly.
have no problem. So tell me if you want that smoke. You understand?
Andre,
I mean, I agree with
Tell
you.
me if
me
you
have
want
to
that
say,
smoke. So
me have to
I was
say,
just playing devil's advocate,
let
but
me just
yes.
say, see how you're dark skinned? There are men who have dominant genes, there are women who have dominant genes. Let us speak to, especially, you hear Sassy talk about stamp and pick we never have now. There are children right now who, as old people say, are the dead stamp. They so much resemble that
Still no
man.
feel.
And when the DNA test is done and paternity is established, that man is not the father. So that is still not even not
Right. That's
woman look
why, again, it stems
and
back
judge.
to
And
the one thing, trust. It's all
this is
about
this
trust.
is what
And
I'm
the
trying to
minute
tell you.
you guys just don't want to accept it, but that's what it's
When it
based
comes
off.
to
It's
No,
not
no.
mandatory, it's based
I
off
am
trust.
you know, yeah,
But
about
I
the
say something.
offspring.
But
And
Hold
man,
on.
I say
women
something.
always are try to compare them man, compare themselves to man in a certain aspect of their relationship and their life. There are things where you will do as a woman where the man will turn up his eyebrow and say, and the man will do the same too. One of them think that we have man will ask woman for paternity test because them know them can't trust the woman. We have man will ask the paternity test for business purposes or for as well to say, now go get a little filing. We have man will ask the paternity test because as me say, a man get a little, like as me say, him lie down and him sit me and like him say, oh wait, or whatever. What the fuck ever case it is why I'm asking the paternity test, him reserve that right. You is not a right. You have to say, oh, because me faithful and me this and me that. Yes, you are a good woman. Yes, you are faithful. Kudos to us. We're good woman and we're faithful and we're not fling me that and we're not this and that. That alone fi tell you say you not fi feel offended when the man asks you. You don't fi feel offended. Don't feel offended.
All
Don't
right.
feel offended. Give the man the paternity test and know say all right that behind you and you
All right.
move to your good relationship because you say relationship good and the man good. And
All
stop
right.
with foolishness.
All right,
But
hold on. You know, when me think of Martisha and Sassy's issue, uno feel like the next person need to get the point. And it's not that case. You need to think there. Sassy will never ever accept our
me no want
viewpoints
to
on the
talk about
monetary
it, but
part.
let me tell you now what my issue. Just because certain things they can't really do.
Hold on, man. We know you're ready to start the fire, but wait. Right? But wait. But Trish, you're there on this, so relax. Trish
Sorry.
freeze.
Because I don't need to win.
Eh?
No.
Sister? Oh, listen, you don't
Well,
understand, right? Some women must not understand the repercussions of certain things, especially on these children that turn out to not like when the paternity is established or no established, then for that matter. It have a devastating effect on kids. Fuck you know, I want to feel like when the man asks you know. Fuck you know and that. It have a
no.
But
devastating
that's the thing,
effect
Martisha. You
on
see, most, as you guys, as we all agree, when
when
women give jacket, them know.
these kids will grow
When
up
women give
and they
jacket,
will be
they
The
know.
audio.
The battery. The battery
No,
are
it's
over.
not the battery. Is the talking. Is the
No, me plug it in
competing.
to charge.
you know what? Me no. You can't speak my stance on this. I'm very personal reasons. And I'm not gonna talk about my part of it. Me can't talk
Am I
about
frozen, guys?
me can't talk about
Yes, you are.
one instance where a woman she older than me and tell me we are come back to the same situation where the mama calls me never say mother in a that she filing a go and everybody gonna lead and she remember you know she done the black already everybody else brown she black nobody ain't say nothing filing a go and she a big woman and she have all fear kids them too DNA test though she can't go for in her whole family gone. She can't go for him because the man is not fear her father. She go to her mother now and ask her mother, Ray, what go on, whatever, how this go. The mother says she not tell her she go carry it to her grave. She not tell her who her father. She go take it to her grave. That's one instance. There are other instances where pitney get left behind. Other instances where the father them also love the pitney them when the DNA test established them all try adapt them and them never get the approval because the nether father them start running now. Or some man get so vexed and them so hurt about it, them say, you know what, fuck it, and them walk away and them leave the kids. Some and the pitney them remember, you know, wanna make them kids that emotionally attached to the man them and all, as me I said before. Financial, emotional, mental, every all you can think of attachment there. So what the problem? What the problem? What the problem?
No, well, I know. K, can I ask you a question? Because I asked a question earlier to Mac and Sassy, and none of the two of them not answer me. You understand? If you are on the side to say that, you know, it is disrespectful to be asking for a paternity test, right? And then acknowledging the fact that you have women that are very deceitful out there, at what point is it okay?
Yeah, break up. I'm not stressing this point because I want somebody to. I am stressing this because I live it. Me live it.
Yeah, but
that's why me make sure say my kids them paternity established already. Me been established it. So if society or law or whoever want establish it after me, if the man want establish it after me, him have free range. Me not have no reserve comment. Don't make sure say yeah. I hear one way to make sure that you know one fucking way to make
no. There's not one way. The only way to make sure that if you know say one man you sleep with here, that's the way me sure. So there's not one way to make sure. There's two ways.
Sassy, make sure finish.
That's the only way you can assure. You can assure.
Yes, that's what I'm saying to you. I am a positive person. Catch me know I 1 minute a day with. So I'm positive.
They won't assure the man and herself in one way. You don't sleep around at the one man you are there with. The man in turn have more than one way. Yes, him have confidence in you. Yes, him have whatever in you. And yes, him will say yes, Ray. But him have other ways to find out say that pick me off.
Right, that's why me not stop a brother fan do it. And
you should take offense. You don't take offense.
Matisha, again, me not stop nobody fan do it. Andre, the lab and the DNA is there, brother. Go do it if you want to it.
No, look here.
No, not you. I'm saying for me personally. I respect every man's wish. If you wish to do it, brother, go ahead. Just know our little shenanigans that we have called relationship, it is going to be over. That's it. Go ahead. Me, we carry the community at the lab.
Martisha, make sure thing.
She done.
I am simply saying, me not have no, my husband will never ask for your DNA and me say no. Go ahead.
Can I ask a question?
Can I ask
a question now? All right. Can we?
You didn't ask the question and say at what point it is.
Yeah, but me not think you not tell me because I don't see how.
Me answer you. Me tell you say if you feel like you have a doubt. At any point when you feel like you have a doubt, Andre, it is your reasoning and your responsibility to go ask.
So no, I'm talking about without the feelings being hurt. That is what I'm talking about. But that's the
thing. Once you have a doubt, you're going to hurt your spouse's feelings. That's what Matt made sure to tell you. Because the woman, you see, if it's a girl who promiscuous, she not probably fear her feelings now go hurt because she know in herself what she do. But you see, if it's a woman like me, we still don't play home.
But most people start off their relationship. Most people start off their relationship on the basis of entering into a trustworthy situation.
Yes, then. That's why again.
Me not talk about the other arrangement.
Live with me and two different something, Andre. Two people dating is different from two people living in a house together. You and I know that we're old enough, right?
No, but people can't have serious situation without being living together. Come on.
Yes, I understand that, but I'm saying to you, you are saying, see me and date me versus it's when you see me and you date, I could have 5 years. It's a whole different person for me living in a house.
Only for 1 second. 1 second and 20 years, same thing. Man reserve the right. You
that's why again.
If you ask to do a maternity
And
test,
this is for Sassy and Trish, because both Sassy and Trish share kind of share the same opinion. Do you know that the man not have to ask you for your DNA if you actually
Galamba coming back. That's why me I tell you,
you
me
know
not
hold
have
on,
no
hold
problem
on,
with him doing
hold
it.
on, even though
Galamba coming
hold
back,
on,
we do it.
Sassy, hold on, man. Hold
Time
on.
out.
But do you know that him coming to you to ask is a form of respect? And I like him come to you.
No,
Hold on, man.
no.
Sassy, look at him, man. Sassy, and listen, just listen. Remember, I no argue, and I say, you know, say me no feel like that pitney for me. The man come to you, quiet and calm, not give you no trouble.
Again,
Sassy, listen.
care.
Sassy, hold on, man. Hold on. Come to you quiet and calm and say, babes, you know, say, you say something to you, it might make you feel some type of way, but me not try to hurt your feelings. But I would really like you to do a DNA because more I know if Ray J am I right? So why him break it down to you everything he must say
It still
not try
doesn't
to-
change the fact it's a form of your
How
broke
is
it just because you,
Alright, so
do
you
you
don't
feel
alright, well I know,
insecure? Alright, let me ask you something. Go home and say to your woman tonight. It's when you go home say to your baby mother. Are you safe on the left?
Calm down now. Calm
where
down now.
Father, where
Calm
the
down.
baby?
Calm down. Calm down. And what I'm saying to you is, so don't you feel like it's a bigger disrespect if this man take care of the pitney for 10, 15 years, and then when him get a chance to go foreign now, or not even say foreign, anything can happen. Say for instance, the man sick or the child sick, and he need a bone marrow transplant or whatever the case may be. And then when the sickness come now, when tests run, you find out the two of them is not a match because them no blood related.
Jay,
Oh, you not
Jay,
in
Hey,
yourself.
can I say something?
Jay?
Aditya? Do you
me
know that?
personally as a woman, me can tell you this. You see, every time me breathe, the 3 times me breathe, me know. So you me believe every woman when they make a jacket, they know.
They don't, not
So you
all
see,
the time, not all the
that's why
time,
me,
not
that's why
all
me
the
I talk
time,
for myself.
Yeah.
Me
all the
breathe
time.
3 times and the 3
Yeah,
times me breathe, me
Not
know.
all the
So
time.
me don't know for everybody, me can only talk for myself.
Jesus
Can I
and peace.
something to
Me
your
don't know
question?
for nobody.
Add a question to the question where Dre asked Sassy. There are men too. What the two where Dre say? A man you want me call him Will. And as me keep on a say, give a fuck on who want feel like when the man ask. A man who want me call him Will, right? And if do certain things, him have to establish paternity. He can't do it word of mouth say yes. Me trust me that. We not talk about the mandatory way.
Me respect that.
We're
That's
talking about
different.
now picking at 13, one at 13, one at 12, one at 5, one at 2. He want do certain things if it's a company and it's a whatever and the man. And at this, we have a touch for how mature some people relationship is now. The man come to you and I say, you know, say, them a give her whatever work. Maybe no know if I'm 401k sitting have to go do with her or whatever. And him have to establish paternity. So him have to carry in 4 different paternity, whatever. For the pitney them, Ray, go submit and he come to you and him say it. Would you be offended that he came to you to ask
Oh, no,
that?
learn at school. How did you guys learn in school?
Me-
Y'all missed the
It's
fact that
just
I
simple
say
question. It's a
I
simple
support
question.
it
You
in
just answer the
certain
question.
You
scenarios.
It-
That
It's a simple
justifies or
question.
qualifies as one of the scenarios that I would accept it in. It's like y'all
What?
are missing it. When just stuck on the facts and me say I am against it being mandatory. But do
Me
y'all
not
listen to what I'm
say
saying?
it.
When actually hear the word and when I come out of my
No, but
mouth.
one on Sassy,
Mm.
that's why you're not supposed to be
Come,
against.
you can answer the question.
I'm not
Come in
hold
and
on.
mark off that off of your paper can you answer.
I'm not
Answer the
hold
question.
on. Hold on.
And say more than
Martisha,
100% Andre,
Hold on.
Alright.
Sassy, hold
wherever,
on. So Sassy,
whatever
hold on.
point
Sassy,
you
hold on.
feel
No.
that
Yes,
insecurity.
Sassy, hold on. No, Sassy, hold on. All right.
time out.
It's just because you don't want it to be mandatory, that's why you should have a problem if the man come to you or ask you.
But
And
me
that's
want
But Jay, y'all
coming
are
in
missing the
and
point.
no, you
Once
are
it's
the
not
one.
mandatory, there's 2 things that is borderlining. The relationship, trust. Wanna keep on a look
But
over that.
If it was
Why? That don't
mandatory,
mean nothing to
Sassy,
no.
hold on.
Trust don't
No,
mean
no.
nothing to in a relationship.
Sassy, you
Respect
lose
don't mean nothing to in a relationship.
question and give a scenario. And the embassy
the
go.
point. That's what I'm saying.
But
You
Hey guys, the sound.
Yes,
sound.
hold on,
no, it my
hold on.
headset is in.
Sassy, hold
Yeah,
on.
but the fact that everybody is trying to talk at once,
What I'm saying to you is, you see, like how you don't want to put yourself in the position for the man come to you, come ask you. You see, if it is mandatory before you did have the baby, that would have cancelled that out.
And that's why
But
we say me respect that. How long we establish that we
no,
all
but
know
you
what
still
mandatory
We don't
means.
establish that long term.
yeah, but
I
you
understand them people are not listen to something wrong.
that's it. But you still said just now that you don't want it to be mandatory. So if you don't
But
want
that's what listen,
that's
that's
it.
why I say, listen,
Please, hold on, man. What I'm saying is, just like how you say, you don't want it to be mandatory, that's why you shouldn't feel some type of way if the man come ask you. You understand?
why would I not feel some type of way if me looking at him asking me is a form of disrespect and it shows me that you don't trust me?
You know,
Because the only way you ask for paternity is if you have insecurities. Is if you feel like you pick me enough for you. Something did that trigger you off to think you pick me enough for you. No. If you sure say pick me enough for you, would you ask for paternity? No. Because you already tell yourself same for you. So something is there. Whether
Alright,
it's the fact that the woman cheats,
let me ask you
whether
this.
it's the fact that the pick
That's
me
it, one
like
more
you,
question. One more question.
something has to be there to trigger it off.
That's it, one more question before you continue. Right? Only more you explain to me how a man is certain that a child is
That's why I narrated to you guys by explaining that nobody is ever sure. When it comes to Pitney, you're a
you
gambler.
just said
Me
you
no
just
give me
said
a gamble with him,
a while
man.
ago.
Like
You
open
just
and
said
brain
you
them,
just
stick out
said
the
a while
18
ago.
years and him a gamble with me and I open and brain them in a green jacket.
You just said a while ago. That's why I asked you question. Because you say
I can't hear Jay. Where's the Jay?
no, you just say a while ago say you sure say pick a fear and the man sure say a female. Why?
Because I know one man, me did that fuck, so I'm
But
100%
the man no,
sure.
but we just ask you how is the man sure say a him? How him sure say
Because him have to trust me at the keep on it's just the trust. Without the trust, okay.
I get it. I get it. I get it.
him not happy. You have one way of making sure that a man's style is you fuck
But
with him.
Martisha, you're
You
missing
have
the
one
fact.
way. A man
Martisha,
than one way.
Martisha,
Hold on.
we understand that there's many ways for the man to be served. Okay.
Stop.
I want to say
Just
something.
so hold on, can you look like you don't understand me? Let me talk about
Is
for
that man?
space here a minute.
Hold on.
Let me
Hold on.
elaborate power. Uno say a few minutes.
Sassy, hold on. Sassy,
Make I run out the road real quick or what?
Yeah.
What going?
Yeah,
Alright.
Mark said something.
All right, may I say this? You can understand where I come from to a sense, you know, Sassy, right? Because like me saying, I feel like I disrespect if a man, if you heard your man to overlong and the man I say, yo, DNA test. Me not like the one there. That the one that not gonna sit down well with me. You understand where I come from? Me as a man, like me wouldn't do that.
I'm gonna
Only
teach
way,
my son.
the only way me wouldn't do that is if me literally you say, yo, one, me not ready for no pitney. Two, yo, you know so me name come. And it, me name come, you know. That name happen, that means that here come the distrust. Now me not trust the woman because she have to run up and down. Because me name come and you catch me, all that reach. You understand where I come from? So hold on, Martisha, hold on. No, on the other hand, where I say you're for the mandatory thing, right? You see now, if it's mandatory, then they're not disrespect that night.
Right.
So I say, I'm not trying to explain it. There's once it's mandatory, then they disrespect. But listen, this would be hold on, Martisha, hold on, darling baby, hold on, sweetness. All right, hold on. My thing is no, if it's mandatory, it's a state law or a country law. There's no way around it. There's no way around it. I mean, so look, you can't get up around it. If you get, but you know, if you breathe,
she never wanted mandatory neither.
if you breathe,
why would I want something like that to be mandatory? You want me and my man to get.
oh, so she wants. All right. Well, either way, well, me. I'm gonna run with the partner. Whether whoever did want it mandatory or they want it mandatory, cause if it was mandatory, there's no other way around it. But look, if it's not mandatory now,
I'm okay with it.
Right. If it's not mandatory now, and a man now decides, say, yo, this are only an obstacle, you know. The man there with if me there, all right. If me there with Divine, the 5 year, yes, Divine, you. Yes, Trish. If me there with you for 5 years now, right? I mean, also, I come home to you. I mean, also, I come home to you.
Sorry.
I come home to you every night and everything good. And, you know, me see you cook dinner, they sit there now, everything good. If you come and tell me, say, oh, you have belly, you know, you not feel so well and you're going to take a test and you have belly, man, I say, all right, cool. If me turn around now and ask you, my woman, what me know, And me I come home to in a house every day. We don't have no time, no gap. If we don't work with it on the phone, unless it's up on the phone, I had this do something in the meantime. I mean, you know. You understand where I come from? If that is the case, that I say you're supposed to go. I can't talk to woman all day. I come home, you cook food, we good, we sit down, we laugh with, and then now you have baby. Me no turn on and go ask you for DNA test. That shit is a problem. Me I disrespect you.
It is. And what you know say? Big my man asked me that, but I say, "Okay, say, laugh, DNA test. Don't we gonna lead again?"
No man. You know, trust you and then me not trust you either.
Hey, Mark, Mark, you know where I think the discussion went off railing a little bit? Because the question was asked, should it be mandatory? It is either you're going to say yes or no.
Me say no.
If you say no, justify why you say no.
The young me said no, she don't want the mandatory.
She said no. So justify why you wouldn't want that to be mandatory.
But I gotta justify fear since you're here right now. You know what?
Justify. Hold on. If you're going to justify why you don't want it to be mandatory, I'm bringing in personal feelings. Then you're off track because mandatory now have no space for feelings.
That's why I raise my voice.
Hold on. You should tell me, say, making it mandatory is going to cause all sorts of problem or this and that or whatever. You should not look and tell me that you're gonna feel a way by that and is a trust issue. No, that's not how you come across and present your point. You either decide of making it mandatory or not. If you are for mandatory, you can say, listen, things like the system can now tie the father to the child. Right? The system can now, hold on, Martisha. The system can now give men a sense of security and assurance that even if him go with a woman with promiscuous, them know now said this child is mine. I'm making go.
Yeah.
Understand?
Yeah. No, me get that.
To tell me that you don't want it to be mandatory or making it mandatory is going to cause a problem, then you need to state what problems. All you have me are feelings and disrespect.
Like I said this. Me don't want it mandatory, right? I can tell you why. Exactly reason why me don't want it mandatory, right?
Yeah.
You know, me, all right, my father, me say my father have a 5 away or something like that. But a 7. A 7 away, but a 5 away I feel. Right? He raised 2 pitney. One jacket and he knows that jacket, they have it. Eh?
Mark, where do you answer the question? Say you know want where you say you know want it mandatory.
No mandatory. I'm gonna tell you why. My father have 7 pitney in all they have his name. 5 of them I feel. The other two now, he raised them, they get the last name or over whatsoever. Now if that the father for them to pick the father when in life, that the man they run gone over long ago. So that therefore, you know what I mean, it never work out. So my father ended up get the name inside birth certificate to all of that, which was good. Now if you do DNA and I prove this and prove that and I try to collect child support for somebody with a business, sometimes it not gonna work out. Sometimes the next man will step in. Hey, missing man meet woman were pregnant and have belly in front of them already, you know. And wait till when baby born and then own it. Hold on, baby, hold on. They raise that the penny as for them own.
That's different.
No, it is different. I get it, but you can get to that though. You know what I'm saying? Before you can't meet together and she's pregnant already, and she not showing a belly. And she said, "Oh, I feel," and the man just raise the pitney the same way, and then he find out 10, 15 years down the line, say I ain't feeling pitney, and him say, "Yo, it no matter, for me pitney the same way, and me raise the pitney." So it's okay.
Yeah, but that's on the man to make that decision, though. But
mandatory,
you take all of that out of it. You know what I mean? There's no questioning, right?
Because if it's mandatory and him find out you're not feeling pitney, him reserve the right to mind it whether or not him want mind it, and that's what he's dealing with right now. The woman
Some man don't know what good for them, yeah, man, because they will run off just because enough to feed them pitney. But after a while, if they stay for a while and they raise a pitney, they can learn some responsibility.
Can we make reference to the video that is now being circulated? Did you see how when the man find out because him never disrespect her and ask her, no, him disrespect her and go behind her back. Since someone would say, or the disrespected that it's no trust. Him go behind her back and do the paternity test. Because we're gonna say paternity test. And when the woman she said the man find out that the pig and she can't believe. She don't say, why would I do that? She can't believe. And why would you do that? And she get upset. Why would the man do that?
That man never need a paternity test to know so that girl a jankro. Me can tell that girl is a jankro. Me never need a paternity test to know so that girl a jankro. So if he not have to test, he have a problem.
Remember,
He's not self-aware. Something wrong with him. Because me can tell so the girl should have never reached a good place there. Right.
Never need that. Our envelope, our heart that beat long time in she know your paternity test in there. She never have to pull off the red paper.
The girl are wicked. She said the girl are wicked.
Right?
That's why we need it to be mandatory. That's why we need it to be mandatory.
They don't want it mandatory, but yes, K. Yes, fancy. Go too fancy. Fancy, go too. Hold on, fancy.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, fancy K. Fancy by K.
I think Dre was just about to answer the question anyway. What's the purpose of having a mandatory DNA? What's the purpose behind it?
You know why? Fancy?
Ask another question before
Yes.
I finish the next hour. So let me just ask.
Mandatory established paternity. That's when it comes to our child support.
Wait, she have another question. She have another question.
So if that's the case, then in my mind, if that's the case, then in my head, every time I meet a man or a woman, sex where you call it, the test where you do for disease.
STD. Yeah.
Should be mandatory too.
STD should be man. STD test now a different argument. STD test should be mandatory. Cause some guy don't know what's going on.
So we have money in bank. Bro.
All right, fancy. To the first question, why would we advocate for it to be mandatory or whatever it is? For the same reason. Hold on.
I know the reason why we're not taxed in Jamaica, there's more. I mean, Jamaica
and it's not. Look here, fancy, and we don't want to put Jamaica on a pedestal, but the reality is, but it's happening everywhere. The issue is, hold on. The same reason why you would make other laws to try to solve a problem. To take emotions and feelings out of it, and for it to not get out of control where it is causing life and death.
There in Jamaica, for the most part, it happened 2 years. I know that. But
I can't agree with that.
2 years in Canada, but in Jamaica, I've seen it so many times, and I will agree that in Jamaica it should be mandatory. Honestly, because I see too much of my brothers or my friends going through this emotional thing when they go and get DNA, whether for child support or for filing, and at the end of the day, the kid is not theirs. Right? And the reason why it should be mandatory too, a lot of men don't mind them picking because them down there say, I don't see them picking. So it should, that's the point too. There's men who sit there and say, oh, that's not my picking, they look like me, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean?
It state when a mandatory, how many things come into place for DNA test was mandatory. You take out the whole of the number of years. If it is mandatory, someone if you work list them to the run and go and work list themselves. Because them know say, yo, Ray, and if they know say, if Tom Strokes and Jim Jones know say, I'm go over there where we say, all right, you go promiscuous, I trade them and go.
So I have another question. If you think it's in Jamaica, right? I have another question. Can I have another question, please?
Hold on, Fancy. Got you now. Your turn. Go on.
So if it's mandatory, that means what was the damn question? Sorry. It should be mandatory in Jamaica because especially in Jamaica, I'm gonna say it and people are gonna come at me, but it's okay. Because more men will be are forced to be taken care of their kids there. There's too many kids in Jamaica without fathers.
Hold on. Let me say this to you, Fancy. DNA, I know DNA. A man go and do what he want to do. A woman go and do what she want to do. Right? Well, I know. You can't try for all a man responsible. Get me wrong, you can try. Even in America, you can put somebody on child support, you can take their wages. But if a man is a drug dealer in the streets, nothing happen to him because he not make no money with him, can take out their wages, so you not get no child support. You understand? If a man is a club promoter or something like that, where him not make no legal money,
you know what's
good. Him not have to worry about none of that.
No, you know what's gonna happen when all that money pile up and he can't pay it? He's gonna go to jail.
Yeah, jail. But them have to go catch him first.
Work for that in their guns.
So then, just like how they can catch you if you do murder or whatever, they catch you.
Them have to go catch him. I don't advocate for it, but I tell you this, them have to go catch him first. And we see some of the biggest criminals in the world, like Donald Trump and them, and they still don't have the same way. So what I say?
Well, I know, Mark. Well, I know. You have on a different tangent now, but if it is mandatory, there are so many problems that would be fixed. Even the same thing where you are talking about right now, that would be fixed.
We possibly could even have that discussion.
Yeah, all of that would have been fixed. As we Fancy say, a lot more men are going to be forced now to be in their kids' lives. A lot of men now we would have got there with one married woman when no say she have and go carelessly breed her and go to the road go both say me give that boy the jacket. Would have think twice because no say if him breed her when the pitney born.
That's everything in life.
There's a way around all of that shit, man.
How is there gonna be a way around it?
There's a way around all of that.
So what? What is the way around? What is the way around? So you are gonna breed a woman. You go breed a woman and then go pay off the hospital for free.
Me not say me wouldn't do that, Me just say, I'm not for that. But me I say, yo, brother, you know how it thing go. In this world, there's a way around everything. I'm not gonna find a way around it, brother. If you don't want to do it. No. A man can't. Hold on a second. Let me say this. A man can't deal with a woman a certain type of way. Start come around and have her even sign one paper and say, yo, no responsibility, Ray. Can juggle and make it. There's ways around things, bro. You don't think a man will still go through that same trouble or even more trouble for not even deal with that responsibility, brother? That's the problem, you know.
All right. Well, I know. So, all right, because there may be ways around. We are not supposed to try to fix what is happening.
No, let's fix it. I am for fixing it. Don't get me wrong. I'm for fixing it because
and that is the way how it's going to be fixed.
Come we get
it not gonna work with mandatory. Not gonna work with it.
It be mandatory. Mac not wanting it to be mandatory. Don't like him. Don't want to have that punish. If you know say it mandatory, if a trout now go to the same woman, you know body over there so go to because you know say when
not
that
mine.
chances of one on the father because the mandatory one on must find
mandatory. Me ask. Guess what? If it's mandatory, however I go, me have stock.
By will or by force.
Matisha, I'm stuck in a Trojan. I'm away enough of them, and if I go roll out the road, now make sure me use my condom every time. I'm not raw dog like some man. I'm not drink no water and go beer back. One clear. Me use my condom. I'm a please woman same way. And it feel good. I'm scared.
Hold on.
Yo, me drop off a chair.
Alright. Una have to understand this now. You see, when you talk about mandatory and talk about it from law is to encourage greater compliance and accountability.
Andre,
so you will.
Dre need to do a giveaway. Make the people them count how much time we spend mandatory for the life.
Right? So you talk about greater compliance and greater accountability. we're not gonna say it a go 100% foolproof, but what is going to happen is that the out of control situation will now be brought in a certain type of spectrum where we now can feel better about things.
And Mark name I go call same way because
Man,
Master.
yo,
Sassy, go
I
ahead.
Suran rap me garroded. What you mean?
Mr. Mark, me say
Me
you
can
could
say
have go
something.
falling.
Sassy want to say something.
You guys keep reiterating the word mandatory. So let me ask you something. Because we all know what mandatory means, right? We all know that means that there's no way around it.
Do it.
So right now the debate is not about it being mandatory because it don't make no sense we talk against it. If
No.
that's
Of
the
course,
case.
the debate is about
Sassy.
That's how we're
Sassy.
on the panel. I feel different about it.
Sassy. Hold on, Sassy. I wish you were on. I don't know if you were listening at the time when I was making the point because the question, I believe the conversation went off rail a little bit. You know why? Because the question was asked about should it be mandatory? You either take a yes or no position and justify that position. In justifying that position, you need to state reasoning of your justification, not bringing in the feelings.
Right. Okay.
So-
That's
so-
what I was gonna ask. What is
Yes, so the whole thing went off rail because we get caught up in our feelings and how this are disrespect or whatever it is. So in some way, shape, or form, some of the persons who were advocating for it not to be mandatory still haven't proven their point as to why they don't want it to be mandatory.
Sassy, I know she has
Me
company.
prove my point.
So no,
Mark,
it's the question
Sassy,
you're
you know
asking.
company. Mark.
But
So
hold on.
Sassy,
Hold on.
let me ask.
Quick.
Hold on.
Before you ask her the question, by a raise of hand, who said it shouldn't? Who don't want it to be mandatory? Me not feel like it should have
We don't
mandatory.
feel like it should be mandatory.
Trish, you as well, right?
I think it should be in Jamaica.
All right, in just
Let
in
me
Jamaica,
hear
Lord.
her. Fancy.
All right, okay, you're selective. Cool.
Fancy.
I'm a
More
No
boy.
problem, darling.
It should be
I respect it.
everywhere.
More-
Give me 60
That is
seconds,
the
you know.
occupation in Jamaica, fancy.
Fancy.
It should
More
be mandatory everywhere.
career.
All the people need to do the
Paternity testing. DNA
No.
testing.
No, Sassy, make sure you finish answer this question. It's very important, and don't forget what the man asked you.
Man.
Why do you feel like it should not be mandatory? After I'm finished, say what am I saying? After I'm finished, say what. So finish your thought, Trick.
So no, I just fancy me that try address.
Yeah, man, no, do that.
Because the thing is, Murray created an entire career after doing DNA testing. So
You are not the daddy.
I know they're America, and chances are it up north, including Canada too.
Watch Andre. Make Sassy answer why she don't want it mandatory no call the dead people.
Why don't you want it to be mandatory?
Because
I'm
we
the
know
one to
we
stop
stop a lot of good
Go on.
children from having good
Okay.
fathers.
Yeah, I see thing. I said to come. That's exactly what I said. Won't
Nonsense.
have good father.
Right now, me have 4. And sometimes me say me wish me have them pick up a different man. Me wish me they cheat. Me wish there was a possibility. Why? Because right now, through me go breed to one man, me have 4 people out in that world when I have no father. So every time
Me I gonna make a great stepdaddy.
man,
Them have a
me like,
father.
"Well, man, look me up." That's the
Them
point.
have a father, but them father just can't take care of them.
The
That is
Sassy.
establishing paternity. You
Well,
know, you feed them
If
father,
I'm
but
not
they
even talking. Me not talk about taking care of them. No, listen to me. Taking care of
You
people,
say
me
them
not talk about finances. Yes, you feel me?
But Sassy,
Me no mind if me not care if a man give me $1. Taking care of
But-
children for me is calling your kids, letting your kids know they have a father. It's not about the financial aspect of it.
so
All
Sassy,
that
So
Papa.
that's why when
Sassy.
All that alright too.
we
paternity
have
or
to
not,
drag
paternity
some.
or not doesn't make you a father.
Sassy, me love. We have to go drag some of them to hell for all of that.
Hey,
Trish.
Drag some of them.
this assassin. Hey, we don't go call on the dirty Papa. I ain't birthday
Alright.
today.
Trisha
So
want talk.
Trish, go ahead.
No, me not. You know, say me not do that, Mark.
Birthday. Yesterday,
Me
you
what
were
me
my
do was me used to call the father and cuss him to call the kids because my kids are my toddler. My oldest pick me a 5.
Oh, okay.
Alright,
Well,
so-
no
You
respect.
just
Cuss
a
him.
concept reason for it not
But
to be
him-
mandatory is crap because whether or not
But
the man
Sure.
when mandatory. The man reserve the right to want to be a good father to whoever I want to be a good father to. We
All
just
right.
want to know who for pick them. That's the
All right.
bottom line.
All right. Hold on. So Trish says she have something to say.
Trish, go ahead.
Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So
Exactly.
me really want to address Fancy, because Fancy says that she believes that
I mean, never can hear
paternity
Trish.
DNA testing should be mandatory in Jamaica. And for the reasons that she has highlighted. And personally, I think it's some very valid reasons. I don't think nobody really forgot 20 years, 21 years before them find out their kidney is not there. However, I like to think of myself as an upstream thinker. And
39.
if the method of DNA testing is really a downstream approach, the question really should be, why are there so many children in Jamaica that do not have the right fathers? What are the
Listen,
issues? What are the issues that are leading for there to be so much raffling in Jamaica? What is the socio-economic status of these women? One, because it's highly likely. Am I going to be able to speak or not? It's highly likely that joining with a man, attaching to a man is a way of survival for a lot of women. It's a way of survival for a lot of women. So our jumping from one man to a next man to a next man is a way of survival for a lot of women who do not have any other backing, and they use their front to carry them right through. Now, do we go pass a test now and say, all right, paternity test is supposed to be mandatory for everybody? I agree with Sassy and I agree with Mac. I'm calling for picking now. I have no daddy at all. I'm calling for one to get beaten. I'm calling for issues, and we're not looking at the reason why we got here in the first place. I can't be looking at the end, make me want to test the father and how the hell did we get here? How do we get to that? We can't have a big broadcast like that in Jamaica.
All right. So Trish, to your point, because I can tell you this. Hold on. Whenever time you try to find a solution, you're trying to find a solution to a problem, just like how you and Fancy state about the issues in Jamaica. So you have to get to a point of resolving that problem. So don't you think at that point of implementation, it is now going to maybe now force persons into a certain type of behavior for the most part? Don't you think it is going to help to mitigate? Hold on. Don't you think it is going to help to mitigate down the road? I can understand everything that you're going to say. And that is the understudy part of it, because the understudy trying to find out the reasons or whatever it is, it means that the things have been happening, still happening. I'm talking about the implementation now. Because we have identified that there is a problem. We would have identified that there are certain causes that is giving us this result. When we do the implementation of making this thing mandatory, we are trying to now fix the problem. It's all good and well to think about whatever it is, because you need to have that upstream thinking to begin to try to find solutions.
Can I ask a question?
Hold on. So you have to get to the point of implementation now. And you're hoping that this implementation is going to curtail some of the ground issues that were causing the problem.
Let me ask a question. She mentioned that most women see or use the whole attachment to a man as a means of survival. Do you think? Oh my God. So this is the part now where we're going to come to the part where people take offense to the question of the man asking for the paternity test, and then now all the man feel to know say you are used it as a means of survival. That you get that as a reason to say, boy, if it's mandatory, that's what happen, this is what happen. Who you think it is right for a woman to set her sights on a man or on a boy child or on a whoever as a means of survival? And even if the woman set her sights on a man as a means of survival, the man fee or no fee. Me
Nah,
not
say it right.
certainly use that as some kind of justification to that to be mandatory because a lot of children won't have good fathers. The good fathers are good fathers because of the men that they are. Not what check what time from the man to know whether that pity their thing that fair to the good father. You know fair to them. Yeah, this fear is love and war and everybody want to finish the guy, but you should have known when you got to back after you got back. You should have known.
Okay, I hear you. Can't hear you. Your thing a cut
Martisha,
out.
your audio sound distorted. You might have to
Jump out
think
and
there.
You
jump in.
can never know who you are
I
breed
don't
for. All you know a man till God come. You will never know till you know. Cause my
You know what?
husband was a
you never
perfect
know.
father until we left. He left me
You
and he
never
left it with them. Some man,
Now I said this. Hold on.
you will never know.
we mix up something you say now. Because
All
we
right. Now I said
estimate
something. Hold on.
baby testing and paternity. We're not
Because
talking
Remember, so we are talking about
hold on.
parenting too, you know, and not just
Hold
paternity
on.
we are talking about, you know.
Let me talk about something real quick, right? May I mention this? Cause I watched something on TV today, and everybody know who Shaquille O'Neal is, right?
Yeah.
Shaquille O'Neal was raised by his stepfather, who's a drill sergeant, and he praised that demand because of that demand they make him who he is today. You understand where I come from? I mean, I say, yo, the reason why me say, mandatory. I mean, if it was, it's what it is. But if it's not, then I'm okay with it as well. You understand what I say?
Right.
If it's not mandatory, that's fine. Because I guess I know Shaquille O'Neal father, man, why him call him father, why him praise as him father. You understand where I come from? If that man was never in his life, Shaquille O'Neal would not be the person that he is today. Yeah, he would have big and tall, 7
Yeah,
foot, but what?
hold on,
And hopeless.
yeah, but hold on, the mark. He knows his father, right?
You know what? I don't think I even dug that deep into it.
Because why?
I never dig that deep into it.
That's the thing. We're not
I
saying
think your father did run
that
off.
you can't tell if a man gonna be a good father or not until him get the opportunity to be a father.
Exactly.
I'll be a great stepdaddy.
You get what I'm
Either
saying?
way.
You cannot know if you're gonna be a good father until you have been put in that position.
Right.
So with what Uno say, if you say all right then, enough will be mandatory because some people are gonna have good father. Oh no, gonna know that.
Because we see a lot of deadbeat
Because
dads
for the
as it
man,
is
them just
anyway.
wanna breed
We see a lot
Bro.
of
behavior,
deadbeat
the
father
man.
and a brother.
You see
Always gonna be
change
there.
the man.
You know,
It's
listen,
gonna be
Most of
a
those
both
men,
on
you
both
know.
ends of the spectrum.
I me can never get my point across. You know
Sorry
what?
for you, I don't know, you know.
Well, I know. Because look at it this way. Look at it this way. You have enough mothers. You have enough women who used to run up and down and give all type of trouble. Say them no one no pick. But the moment she get pregnant and she start feel a feeling there in her, say she carry her life. Sometimes that change people, you know. When she see all the baby born and she see how the baby look and how the baby make she feel. Just like how you would have some woman give up themselves to be a surrogate mother. She knows that once she give herself to be a surrogate, that child is not no longer hers. But when the time forward now, and she will give up the baby, she can't give up the baby because she attached to the baby. So what I'm trying to say is, you cannot know if a man is going to be a deadbeat father or a good father unless you give him a chance to be a father. And that is where the paternity thing jump in. You have to give the man a chance to, and the right person the chance to be the father of the child.
Because there's something.
Yeah, go ahead.
Most women that I've heard with them story there, normally when them really cut out the fact, they then give the picnic to different daddy, and when they see say the man where they breed for now step up to the plate. Once most
That's
of them women they will sleep with multiple men, man
No,
will breed them. Most
no,
of them
girl.
will breed them. But that's why I say most of the women them when me know when me sit with multiple men them a gripe. Most of the time when me and them reason, they know how to breed them. But if you want to breed them now, step up to the plate as a father to show them, say, yo, me I make preparations to that picnic here. That's why they get to the next
All right.
man. Because most
Sassy.
of the time, the man will get the jacket is not the man when woman wants. If you really check it out, most of the time when man will get the jacket, I know she the woman want, I want to breed her, he want. But he now play father role.
No, you know, you see,
So she give
piggybacking
one
off
where I
of
buy
what
the baby clothes and I
well,
buy the bath and I buy
you
the
see,
something and I show same ready.
you see the piggybacking off of that, it goes back to what Trish did I say. It goes back to that because the man there, the man will have the money to do that. Money no, and the money take care of people.
No.
Bring up picnic. No.
No, it's not about the money. We come from a
Listen,
poor
man.
community in a occupied Clarendon.
Look,
I'm
but
not see man, me see me girl give man jacket. Right now, me have a brother where you know have Fiwi name up to now. I be call him my brother because we know say our brother cause man we dead stamp with father. And fee mother have pitney for my father. Everybody in the district will watch this right now. Cause he not have daddy name.
Me have the same thing.
Listen, me hear what
We say
I'm
Johnny,
talking
we say, where my name?
what I'm not talking about to self. The parents are only talking about their fucking self. What
Of course, we have to talk about ourselves, experience what we got through, so we have to know.
listen, Marty has a point.
if you don't know where them come from, them want to know where them lineage is, them want to know who them father, grandmother, sister, them want to know the whole of the ancestors, them want to know. That's important too. It's not
Well,
just
if this is a question of do you agree with giving jacket or not? No, we not agree with giving jacket. That's all fun and jokes. But if you want to say mandatory testing, no, I'm against mandatory testing, but I'm not. Me not going to tell no woman to give a man jacket.
Alright, there's a
No,
you see,
me not
Marty,
support that.
Marty shall bring up something and it sparks something in my brain. There's also another thing we have to look at. What about say alright?
When you turn on the AC.
What about all of us living at the same community? See? Me and Martisha used to do. Maka Martisha used to do. Andrea Martisha. Because I use Martisha as an example, right? Martisha get pregnant, don't know how it is away. She just raffle and give one away, right? Say for instance, the powers get it. the powers of the father and Maka the father. Here we go on and know. See, I know the whole live in the same community. So the same thing up with Trish. Trish goes to know and the one out of three away a jacket. This time me get the jacket, but Andrea father. With same thing up with stuff, the same thing up with K. Remember as we say, but we know it's a Jamaican community run. So here we go on and know. All four women are uno at one point in time be a jacket. A boy or a girl or whatever the case may be. Because your son now, but there with Martisha daughter. Not knowing say I'm sister. How that look?
All right. Answer, please.
So you
Can't talk about that one, we have to leave that one alone, because that one is too rough.
You see the mandatory DNA was there, you see the mandatory DNA was there. You see the mandatory DNA was there.
No practice this swimming at the shallow.
You see the mandatory DNA was there. That would not happen. But that's not when we see happen. That's why I say.
That's a joke. That's another joking. That's another joking. I'm picking
No,
up.
but that's why on a serious one, Andras, I can honestly say when I'm not going to find that aspect there. You see that if it's a law we pass, me not going to reach up myself and whatever. But if it's a debate
going along with it.
should we pass the law or not? No, I don't agree with passing that law. Regardless. Why? Because there's ups and downs. Children, yes, some people are going to benefit, some people are going to lose. So it's a win-lose no matter what. You understand? Some is going to benefit, some won't.
We're fighting
So
the one with
if it's a law, you go along with it. But if they come and ask that law,
right.
What kind of fucker that? Please clarify that fucker before you proceed.
That's my belief, girl. Like, yeah, so what kind of fucker that? Everybody have them own brain.
If it's a law, you go along with it. But if you come and ask to pass that law, you are
I wouldn't just say it if it's something mandatory and not a choice. If
but if
it was a law at one point, woman needs to pop up, but we have to keep it.
It's mandatory,
It was mandatory to keep it. Because well, we have put in place now, because we are enjoy it. It's not mandatory anymore.
It's a law, we'll go along with it.
I respect it and we understand it.
You're not going to go along with it?
Look here, right now, look here, let me ask you something. Right now, we're out on the life against faggots, no. But the law approves you so what we can do about that?
I forgot them body, so I'm not against them. I free them body. Disclaimer.
No, sir.
Them body. We're not talking about that. You just Calm down. It's mandatory. You don't have no choice if you're mandatory, no, because I done whatever already. You said if they come now and say they are going to pass the law for it to be mandatory, you know with it. You know with it to be with it or not, my love. If them come and say a law will be passed and if people them sit down now.
Just say, Mama. Just
No,
say it's a mandatory. Me not have no choice.
And
But
you
if
know
they
what?
come to me and say, listen, Matisha, don't be so quick to talk. Sometimes you feel listen.
Worcester.
Me just say
Worcester.
what you say. No, me just say.
All right.
If it's
All right.
mandatory,
All right. All right.
I don't have a choice. So me have to live with a society with it. But
Fancy,
if they come to me and say, Sassy, we are going to make a law. And why you vote against it or with it? What do you vote? Sassy is going to vote against it. That's bottom line.
All right. So all right. We're trying.
President. Only if we vote against him, but we still have to live in America and die. No. Because he's mandatory president right now.
All right.
Anybody have no gun? Anybody have gun? Shot me, please.
Eh?
Many people just shot me because I hate that. Shot me.
All right. Yeah, go ahead, Mark. Go ahead, Mark.
Never mind. Go to your boss. I don't know. Why?
All right. Me, I got elaborate. Somebody know to take the floor.
Fancy.
Me, I got elaborate for the parents.
All right. Just before.
Hold on.
Lady that make after me make my point say these are dangerous territories when the fucking woman them say them no want it to mandatory. Plus when them vex when the man asks the paternity.
Love talk dressing. Oh, I'm kidding.
I don't want to go.
Martisha.
Because I don't think that something else already can go with. Based on what you said, that women will view men as structure for support and survival, and it's the person that on the casket.
All right. All right.
Yo, me think we
So
might
we're
have knew
trying.
that
All
while
right.
ago. Oh, sorry.
All right. Well, I know we're trying to see if we can keep this to 2 hours. We have just about maybe about 10 minutes left.
6.
4 minutes.
4.
Where you get 4 minutes from?
4 minutes.
It's actually 4, but remember we didn't start exactly at
At the time.
No. So hold on. Am I the only one that is seeing 1 hour and 51?
No.
Yeah,
Yes.
Eh?
Yes, I alone.
Yeah,
156 for boss.
My one has the one. No, I guess. My one to 157. No.
Okay.
I was the
So,
157.
All right. So all right. I don't know how the algorithm they set.
Yeah.
Different strokes to different folks. I don't know. I saw them something yesterday. But anyway, we want to close off really and truly. It was a pretty heated debate.
Yeah, man.
It was a pretty heated debate, and just like every other thing, 7 brothers, 7 different minds. You understand? There was well, I know. There wouldn't have been a case where if everybody shared the same opinion.
We don't know if you have a blood clot, brother. Never mind.
Hey, I know. That's why I always ask women for them information and I want to know your whole family lineage, you know, if you ever for my sister or cousin, oh God.
Hold on.
You see, I wanna come on live and I say I like somebody and that somebody when I start to say them like and mandatory so nobody open up to us. Please if you want to see me want to see the football car right now. Man, there was no brother hurting.
Anyway.
Well, we know who pan this alive and me not related to, you know.
Very taken and glad to have to come and me and him not related.
Okay. All right.
The whole Jamaica cousin. The whole Jamaica our cousin.
Yeah.
Right. So we want to get in the closing arguments and put it this way. In terms of my 2 cents, really and truly, as I said, if we're talking about the case of it being mandatory, it is of course to solve a certain issue, right? To solve a certain issue and to encourage a type of behavior that we figure that is going to bring about accountability and responsible behavior. responsible behavior. We see too much of all these things that are happening. The deceit is real. The whole idea of infidelity is now rampant. People are out there being careless. It's not a matter of trying to hurt anybody's feelings. We want to get the feelings part out of it. You understand? We want to encourage a type of behavior. And put it this way. I mean, different strokes for different folks. Me personally, as I said, it's not because I think anybody that I'm with is promiscuous or whatever it is. Because usually for me, and personally, even if it's mandatory or it not mandatory, I wouldn't personally ask, right? Because old people have a thing to say, no, if you never got 4 rules, Paul couldn't shit for a year, you know. And if my name calls certain way, I don't have a problem. Once I am given the opportunity to care for the child and to do right by the child. You understand? Right by the child. It's not like I would go and ask for whatever it is. As I said to you in my scenario that I pointed out earlier, I was just playing devil's advocate to show that woman that listen. Be careful of the things. Be careful of the things that come out of your mouth. You understand? But that are my 2 cents. It's really to encourage a certain type of behavior in a society that is being lost in all sorts of messiness right now.
It's been lost in all sorts of light and wickedness.
Yeah. But that are my 2 cents. I mean,
my closing argument is I have seen growing up a lot of kids' lives messed up because of this thing. You know what I mean? Especially in terms of everybody know how our communities are set up. Remittance is something where drive the economy of Jamaica. That's why a lot of people migrate, and then a lot of people migrate, make lives for themselves in other foreign countries, and then now want to help their kids to be better in the world, where them end up file for them, sting for them. And I have seen a lot of bright sparks go bonkers because from them little bit them mother tell them say them all got foreign, but live with them father. And you know what I mean? Some of them mother knowing say then just a sell this little youth a pipe dream because in her she knows that the man and the youth father. Some of them don't know. So when they filing forward now, bombs, they hear say the man and your father. Some man turn them back on the picnic them because them it easy for them because them not this world for money with them send to Jamaica, send barrel and all these things. They never do that no more. They can turn them back. Some people still like the fact say still love them youth, even though not feed them youth by blood, so they will still take care of them. But as me I say, I am for it being mandatory because it can fix a certain problem that we see. As what Dre say, it even get even worse now. And that's what will happen for years. Because in my community, I will only part of them happen. And even with Martisha did say away, you have some mothers where we take it to them grave, them now go tell them pitney because them feel so ashamed of them no want tell them say yes, you know, say at Tom Jones are your father. Some woman now go do it now, even when them know and the pitney find out say, yo, I know the man where they give me to. I'm a father. Them still now go tell them. And me feel like that is wrong because you see all in this, especially with the whole conversation we have, most people were only thinking about their feelings and not thinking about the feelings of the child. I am thinking about it from the aspect say, wow, go am fi picnic them. That I'm with me I worry about more than anything else. No matter who want feel like say somebody not trust you or loyalty or whatever. Me just think about the kids. But that's what me have to say on it. I don't know who else want to take over and give their
What I have to say is, imagine we establish surname because of blood most times, even though family related by blood, marriage, adoption, whatever. But may I have to say on a serious note, it is very painful when you Do not like, it's like you can't certain away from who you're from. It's painful. There are children who experience a lot of disadvantages. Them experience a whole heap of trauma. Them get abused just because their mothers did not think it was the right thing to do to establish the paternity of their fathers. They made selfish decisions as mothers. Selfish decisions. They did not think about the child. They only thought about themselves. Because in that time, you only thought about all the people mine, who beard too enough, and Mr. Man bearded too maga and they want him, and one bag of nonsense. Those things are shit when it comes to the child themselves. It no matter because I may say we, because I'm afraid to, we will grow up to be many things if we don't know our find ourselves at certain times of our life, right? And so I am for 150%, and if you want to ask me for it to be mandatory, and I am for men, and this is how I am raising my son. At any point in a relationship, when I feel like ask a woman or a girl or a little whatever, or if your niece, you know, say you did go to ask for the paternity of your child. Not care about them. Ah,
All
All
right.
right.
May I say something? Let me say something real quick. Real quick. I make a shot. Me not gonna take too long with it.
All right.
And
For
idea what
me,
me I gonna say at this.
my closing argument.
Oh,
No,
Trevor,
hold on a second.
y'all go follow me.
Mac, just say Mac is on the thing there.
Hold on there. You understand? All right, people. This is my thing. Me not gonna take nothing away. All right. One thing me I gonna say about this whole situation. I don't want no woman to be bitter if a man asks for a DNA test. You understand where I come from? Don't be bitter because me understand the case sometimes. A man might just unsure or however it is. Or both people can be unsure. The bitterness are the
nobody
big
knows
problem.
what
Hold on, no, man. Hold on. I know you are running out. Hey, where you there? Don't you say you there? Me know you are. Me know you are running out. You are running out. Don't run out for me, you know. Look, me not like the bitter baby mother business. You understand? If a man want to be in a pitney life, whether in the darks, for DNA or whatever, if a man want to be in a baby life, make the man be in the baby life. Let the man take care of responsibility the man must take care of. Because me and Sassy said something earlier, what me name 273. Me never necessarily like too tough, and she never say, that's what she would do. But it's some a hint towards it. Me not like the bitter baby mother business where you can't see the pitney and ray. None of that. Me not feel like none of that should happen because if a man want to be in a pitney life, whether I'm going to be there full time or half time, however it is, it matters and it will help. Because me know enough people are enough children are grow up without parents and whatnot, and them have stepfather. So big up to the stepfather them who are raise the kids them the right way and don't abuse them. Because yes, we know that all that can happen, but we know say, yo, listen, all the father can turn around and abuse it. He want a daughter or he want a son or however it is as well. And we don't want none of that. We just want just positive things to happen. We just want the youth them to grow up good. We want the parents them to get along. We don't want nobody to beat nobody. We want nobody to kill nobody. If you can't get along, we just move on. If I don't feel pity brother, don't beat the woman. Just go find the next woman and breed she and call it a day. You understand? I don't want it to be nothing like that. But yes, I don't, and I also do still. Me I gotta say it like this. Me not think say it should be mandatory, but if it was, it would help. So I can see. I see from both sides where it can help. Me can see from one I say, yo, if the mandatory thing can help, it will help, and I see that. So if I saw it go, I saw it go. And bless up all our ladies them, bless up all our gentlemen them pan alive, bless up all of the fathers them and the mothers them. Because for now mother I hold it down strong. So my mother play mother and father, granny, auntie, everything in that one. Me respect on them. Me respect on them. Other man might not respect on them, but me, for regular Star TV, Andre Powers, the man them pan this, we respect on them regardless however. Me I talk to them. Me know them not even say nothing. Me know that for a fact. So we respect on us. So big up all our ladies them. You see? Big up all our single mothers them too. And the single fathers them. Because the single father man didn't think too.
All right, let me say what I say. So I think it should be if it's mandatory, it will fix some of the mess that's happening, not just in Jamaica but everywhere in the world where kids don't have their fathers growing up with them
or as again the abuse. So I think it should be mandatory. However, if it's not mandatory, I still stick to the point. If my husband, come and say to me, okay, me need a test for your son, I will be offended because this was my husband and he should have trusted me. I still stick to that point. But I think it would help if it's mandatory. If it's mandatory, nobody's not going to be offended because that's what we have a happen. Every time somebody breathes, they might do DNA test. So, you know, and I want to add to maybe straight from the point that people should, since that should be mandatory, people should start doing, and I practice this in all my relationships. Somebody taught me this. When you're gonna go sleep with somebody, you do them the test with too before and make them show them papers. People are gonna say, what? Yes. Show your papers because if you sleep with somebody if you get pregnant, then can get any other disease. So me just add to that. So that I'm out. Chelsea's out. Really good discussion, guys, tonight, and everybody else who's going to tune in on the live because
All right, Sassy, you want to go ahead now?
All right, guys. As you all know, go subscribe to my channel. I'm gonna do a $200 raffle. So for me, the reason why I say I don't think it should be mandatory because it being mandatory, yes, it's gonna stop a lot of men from taking care of children that's not theirs. But I don't think it should be mandatory because it's gonna stop a lot of children from experiencing that aspect of having a father. When it comes to what we did say earlier, Mark, me right now personally is living the life where me a mother, father, grand. You're the only person my children have in America right now. And their father there, and everybody on their father side there. So personally speaking, my children don't know that. Why they don't know that? Because they never once asked to call their father and me say no. Me make them call him and him no answer. Me make them call and get the voicemail. You understand why? Because I don't want to be the one to when they grow up, they can say, but with the ask to call daddy and mommy never make we do it. No. Me alone, they make them do it. They make him be the one who shut them down. So in regards to paternity and whatever, parenting we're gonna discuss it next week. I will never get fit really touch parenting. We stayed on the paternity thing this week. I don't support it being mandatory. If it is, me not have nothing to say because you know we have to do it a law. But if vote for it become a law, I wouldn't vote for it to become a law because a lot of children need that experience. That like, even if after 18 years and then whatever. Pitney need that love they for grow with. Pitney need that attention they. Go on, Fancy.
All right,
Enough,
Trish.
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 I started off the discussion, at least my point, in saying that I could see how I could go either way. And then I deviated more to support not having a mandatory paternity test. It's so funny for me because I'm here and something just jumped up on my timeline, which is an article in the Star yesterday, which reads, schooling and the pursuit of higher education is one of the leading causes for Jamaica's decreasing birth rate. And this really goes back to my point in saying, yes, I agree with you guys that doing mandatory paternity testing will solve some of the problems. But there are multiple ways of going around and solving the problem. In my opinion, there are underlying issues, underlying causes that a paternity test will not solve. So, which is why I'm on the side that says no mandatory paternity testing. I think that you're putting a band-aid on a deep, deep wound. So I would go back and once again, go back and say, well, if it's showing that there is a decreased birth rate because people are seeking higher education, well, I could look back and see what we can do then. Maybe there's something to this. How do we get people to be more entrepreneurial? How we get people into schools to seek higher education to do better for themselves? Maybe when they do that, they'll make better decisions in partners and even having the amount of children. So I completely agree with you. Know it's going to solve some problem, but I think that there are multiple ways to go around in solving the issue, which is children having the wrong parents. I think there are multiple ways to go around that. So I'm back
Right.
with Tracy, and I'm
I got it.
completely in agreement that I would not do a broad-based a solution like that and say mandatory testing for everybody. But anyways, I'm signing off. It's been a wonderful discussion. Follow Divine Chick Collective. Trish Girl, I'm here. I will be back next week.
Enough respect, Trish.
Yeah, people. So there you have it. This is late night talk. You know what I mean? We talk about adult conversation. Doesn't always have to be about sex, but anything that us as adults deal with on a daily basis. That's what we talk about. That's what we discuss over here. It was a great discussion. Got very heated at times, but with discussions, that's how it goes. Everybody's opinion is different, and sometimes we have to agree to disagree. I just say it go. Mr. Pause, anything to say before we leave?
No, I think, in closing, everybody touched on validating their position, and it is a it is a food for thought. Put it that way. And if everyone that is listening and watching this live should at least do some introspection, especially as it relates to, as Trish said, knowing your partners, right? Because baseline, we would love for love and trust to solve everything, but we're humans, and that's not the way it is. You understand? Hence why we need external system to help control behavior, right? To help control behavior. Of course, usually for me, Andre Powers, you can follow me personally. That's my personal page. On Instagram, Through the Eyes of the Eagle. You can follow me on Instagram as well as the YouTube channel. Just the same, interesting content and good reasoning. You understand? Big respect to everybody that is on the panel. And everybody on here who are parents, big up on yourself. Continue to do good by your children. You understand? Continue to do good by your children and ensure that they have the foundation and the baseline traits and everything that would make them better persons in the future. And that is what we're all about. That is why we have discussions like these.
Yeah, so people, all the hosts have their own social media handles or business pages. As Sassy said, she's having a raffle of $200. If you are interested, go check her out on Instagram to get more info at Sassy Rochelle. Mr. Mac at Mr. Mac _Fox. Trish at Divine Chick Collective. Morticia at This Morticia, and also the big business woman in the place, K, with Fancy by K. You know what I mean? You can go over there, get on the cosmetics. With me, you can check out my business page at Reggae.Dancehall, or if you want to know more personally, you can go at DA _ no, at not even remember it.
The lock, DALOC.
Yeah, DA _LOC D _GENT.
Yeah, and make sure you go follow the _Mac launch to car. Big things are going on there. So make sure you buy a rum punch.
Don't eat the bullet with your name on it.
No, I recently changed it. That's why I never remember it often. Sorry. But anyways, you know what I mean? You can go follow your favorite host or follow each host, however you want to it, don't have a preference. But do support.
Follow all away. One time.
Everybody has something special to offer. We are all business people. So big up on yourself, and until next week.
Peace.
Yeah, man, big up on yourself.
Peace.
Good night, lovely ladies. Two hooligan them panel. Good night, I guess.
Good night.
Hey my girl, yo, make sure say press the like button. Umbre, you me attack. Yeah, you, I press this like. You're a bad man, you're wicked. Make sure you subscribe to Fiwi Dancehall, you know. That one authentic. Watch it play, watch it pre now.